Welcome back to Only Talk Sports. And tonight we have the NBA playoffs 2023 Western Conference first round game one live reaction watch party between the Los Angeles Clippers and the Phoenix Suns. The game is already started. It's 3-2 LA. Obviously, the big news is Paul George will not be playing in this game. That is horrible news for the Clippers, but they still have a really talented roster. And on the other end for the Clippers, Eric Gordon just laid it in. He's a really good veteran player for the Clippers. That's a good sign for the Clippers overall. But right now, a 5-2 lead for them, but no Paul George. That is huge. And the Suns, obviously, they have Kevin Durant. He's only played in 8 games since he got traded to the Suns, but he's going to be a big reason why the Suns do win this series because of the fact, if they do, because he is a fantastic player. But Chris Paul at the top of the key, he hits the big shot for the Suns, and it's 5-5. Right now, both teams are playing at a very high level early. Nice basketball action. The playoffs are here. It's been a lot of fun early. And I'm looking forward to seeing what happens in this game. As we've seen games earlier today, there's been a lot of good games so far. Russell Westbrook, he misses a 3 for the Clippers. Obviously, he's really struggling from 3. Some people have even nicknamed him Russell Westbrook, but he is a really good player still, but does need to improve that shooting stroke. But Devin Booker for the Suns with a 2 at 7-5 Suns over the Clippers. That's a really nice sign for Phoenix, seeing Devin Booker getting involved early. He's a really good player. He's definitely budded into a potential star. He's gotten much better over the time in his career so far, and I think he definitely has the potential to get even better from here. But I think that the Suns, even though they had to get trade away Mikal Bridges and, all those other players, Cam Johnson as well. That was really tough. You have to give all those players away to the Nets and picks for Durant. Durant is a great player. And as long as you have him, you got to take advantage of him. Paul's getting older. They really need to win with him right now. But it's really a nice start for the Suns and a turnover for the Clippers. The Clippers are going to not have to turn the ball over. If they turn it over too much in this game, they will not be able to win. They have to play a clean game and make a lot of shots because they're the road team and they're without one of their stars in Paul George. And I think that the Suns, with their full roster being at home, they're in much better shape overall, but we'll have to see what happens. And down on the other end, you have a drive by the Suns, and it's 9-5. Nice drive there. Jeff is here. He says, I'm here. Should be a good one. I'm looking forward to it. Glad you're here. Thanks. I appreciate it. 96 is here. He says, what's up? Only Talk Sports. Thanks for being here, 96. I'm doing really good. Hope you are as well. Really appreciate you for being here. But we got a really nice start to this game. There's been a lot of great games. Obviously, the Lakers going on the road and upsetting the Grizzlies earlier. That was a fantastic game. Huge win there. And then we just saw the Miami Heat beat the Milwaukee Bucks on the road as well. So we've seen 2 upsets. Could the Clippers be another upset? Now, you got to obviously remember with, Giannis Antetokounmpo getting hurt for the Bucks, that really hurt them overall. But I do think it's a great sign the way things are trending for the underdogs today. Potentially the Clippers could get it done, even though they are without a star. We've seen other teams do it, going on the road and getting big wins. But Phoenix, they're up 8-5, 7:34 to go in the first quarter, and you've got the ball in Kawhi Leonard's hands. He's going to have a massive night if the Clippers want to win without Paul George. Nicholas Batum, he shoots a 3 and he knocks it down. It's 8-8. Nice shot by Batum. He's obviously a veteran basketball player. That's a great shot there. 7:10 to go in the first quarter. Chris Paul has the basketball. He's trying to drive into the lane. He was the mid-range maestro earlier in his career. He's a lot older now, but he is definitely still capable of hitting tough shots. Devin Booker goes up in the mid-range, and he knocks it down. Taking a little bit out of the playbook of Chris Paul. 10-8 Phoenix over the Clippers. 6:50 to go in the first. Booker has 4 quick early points. Again, great sign for the Suns if he's going to be playing this well early in this game. But now you've got Kawhi Leonard with the basketball on the other end. He's in the paint, and he rises up, and he knocks it down. 10-10. Clippers are hanging with the Suns early. Nice sign there if you're a Clippers fan. But Booker on the other end takes another mid-range, too. He cannot make the shot. So 6:30 to go in the first quarter. Now Eric Gordon with the basketball. He goes up strong, and he knocks down the 3. Eric Gordon playing well for the Clippers early with 5 quick points. The veteran out of Indiana. He's had a really nice, long NBA career. I think he's 20th all time in the three-point shooting list for career 3. So he's a really solid, underrated player. 34 years of age, but still has some game for the Clippers. They traded for him earlier this year from the Rockets, but Phoenix misses on the other end. And Kawhi Leonard has the basketball. He does a nice spin move into the lane. He kicks in the corner to Batum. Now over to Eric Gordon for three again. And Eric Gordon is feeling it early. 16-10, Clippers up by 6. And right now, Monty Williams does not like what he is seeing, and he calls his first timeout. Definitely does not like the way his team is starting out on the defensive end early in this game. Dan Jones is here. Thanks for being here. Dan, he says, love the cast. Question, are you taking Jordan or Kobe first if you're picking your team 5-on-5? That's a great question, but I would probably have to say Michael Jordan just by a little bit. Kobe Bryant was a fantastic player. I know people talk about who's better, who hit more clutch shots, but I would have to go with Michael Jordan by a little bit, but both are great. 96 says Clippers will need Westbrook more than ever. Good luck to them. Yeah, he's going to have a big game. I mean, he's technically, if you want to be really typical about their third star, I know he's not the third leading scorer. That would be Norman Powell. But Russell Westbrook is a great player. He's had a fantastic career, and he obviously has had several seasons of triple-doubles. But he definitely needs to step up for the Clippers overall if they want to have a chance to be able to win this game and this series, because he is, a former all-star and he has had so many great seasons in his career. Obviously, he is getting older and he is not shooting the basketball nowhere near as good as he used to, which has really hurt him in his efficiency, because you have to be able to shoot the three ball at a high level in the NBA today. If you don't, then you're just going to struggle overall. But I do think overall, looking at the Clippers, if Russell Westbrook doesn't have a big game, it will really hurt their chances of being able to win. I think that if Paul George was playing, then they would be able to get by potentially without, Westbrook playing at his best. They could be able to potentially win, but I just don't really see, high hopes overall for the Clippers if Westbrook doesn't play well, because they have to have him play well, because Paul George isn't going to be back until the next series at best. He's not going to be able to play at all in this series. So it's very unfortunate for the Clippers that he got hurt at this time, but it is what it is. They're going to have to go with what they got, and that's why you trade for a lot of players, to be able to have the depth to potentially be able to withstand being without, one of your stars in Paul George. But it's going to be very interesting for sure. I'm looking forward to the rest of this game. Dan Jones says, Jeff, yeah, I agree it's close, but I'm taking MJ. You definitely have to, 100%. He's a really good basketball player, and he's had a great career. And I think that you definitely have to have Michael Jordan over Kobe Bryant. And it's not because of the fact, overall that Kobe Bryant's not a great player, but it's because of the fact you look at Michael Jordan, he's just elite. Michael Jordan has done so much in the NBA. He's had a fantastic career. Jeff says, I love me some Jordan. I love watching Kobe too. I mean, it's one of the biggest debates in the NBA. Now, obviously, it's kind of become, one of those situations where people are debating LeBron James versus Michael Jordan, but they're both great. It's just one of those things that sometimes you just got to respect greatness all around, and both players are fantastic. You really can't get much better than either player. And I think that, you get only so many great players in NBA history at the caliber that those type players are. And, I mean, again, they are both elite for a reason. And for sure, I mean, there's nothing else you can say about it any way, shape, or form. But it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. I really wish the Clippers were healthy, because if they were, then obviously it would feel a lot more fair, with the fact of not being able to have Paul George. We're not going to really know how good, the Clippers are, because they're not a complete team. It's very unfortunate. I mean, you definitely see the difference that the Bucks are without Giannis. Obviously, I don't think Paul George is as important to the Clippers as Giannis is to the Bucks, but still, Paul George averages 24 points per game. Him and Kawhi Leonard average the exact same amount of points. So it is very interesting for sure. Definitely something that is going to have to be talked about if the Clippers do not win this series, what they would have done if they were fully healthy, but we'll never know if they don't win. But they're starting out really well in this game. But Torrey Craig for the Suns with the 2. It's 16-12. Clippers over the Suns. It's a nice shot by Torrey Craig in the mid-range, but the Clippers are hot early. They are playing some great basketball. Kawhi Leonard with the step-back jumper, and he knocks it down 18-12. He has a really lethal mid-range jump shot, a very, very good basketball player overall. Kawhi Leonard obviously won a title with the Raptors, so he has fantastic basketball game. He is a leader, and he definitely can be a leader for the Clippers without Paul George. I believe that for sure, but he's going to have to do a lot. Ivica Zubac down low for the Clippers loses the basketball on the inbounds pass by Westbrook, and now Phoenix has the ball down 6. Torrey Craig in the corner, and he splashes the 3, 18-15. That's a really nice shot there for Torrey Craig, and Torrey Craig's one of those role players that the Phoenix Suns still had that they did not trade away in that trade overall with Durant. So I think that's going to be really huge. You know, looking at the potential chance that the Clippers are not going to be able to win this series is for the Suns to have role players getting a lot of big shots going down. And Torrey Craig is a really important player to the Suns. People talk about Paul, Ayton, Booker, and Durant, but you need really good production from the bench players as well and the starters that aren't really the stars. And Torrey Craig's one of those players. But for the Clippers, it's the exact same thing. You need Eric Gordon to play well. You need Norman Powell. You need some of those other guys to play well. Russell Westbrook for sure. But Westbrook, he has the basketball. 18-15. He goes off glass and he misses the shot again. Westbrook is really struggling to shoot the ball from outside. He can still get to the rim at a high level, but he is struggling to shoot. But it's 18-15. Devin Booker has the basketball and he's trying to get it inside to Kevin Durant. And Kevin Durant, he is fouled. Kevin Durant, obviously, is still a fantastic player at his age, still playing at a high level. But Kevin Durant is definitely injury prone. He's missed a lot of games. People have talked about that he's missed more games than Kyrie Irving in the last year and a half, but he's still a great player. Definitely, you feel like he's worth what the Suns gave away, but the Suns gave away a ridiculous amount. But KD is still a fantastic player. Definitely understand why he wants to be with the Suns to win a ring, but the field is loaded this year. Landry Shamet's now into the game for the Suns. He definitely is another important piece to the Suns overall, potentially being able to help them win. But Devin Booker, he has the basketball. Devin Booker goes up strong. He misses the shot. Now you have the Clippers with the ball going down the floor. Nicholas Batum bringing the ball up the floor. Eric Gordon, he has the ball at the top of the key. He's driving into the lane. Eric Gordon goes up strong, and he lays it in 20-15. And Eric Gordon is playing really good basketball early for the Clippers. He's got 12 points. 12 of the 20. Norman Powell's into the game as well for the Clippers. KD goes up strong, cannot make the shot, but Torrey Craig with the offensive rebound. And KD has the basketball, swings over to Devin Booker, and Devin Booker goes up strong into the lane and lays it in 20-17. Really nice shot by Devin Booker. Devin Booker definitely has a lot of different moves that he can employ. He's a good shooter. He can get to the rim. He's still really explosive. Obviously, being a younger player, he's a great player overall. But really impressive basketball by Eric Gordon to start the game for the Clippers. Now Ivica Zubac down low for the Clippers, and he gets to the shot to fall. 22-17. Some nice basketball from the Clippers, and they're staying in front of the Suns, doing a really good job right now. Really impressive basketball. But now you've got Devin Booker in the lane, and Devin Booker's shot is short. And now I think there is either the ball off of the Suns or maybe a foul on Booker. I'm not 100% sure, but nonetheless, the ball is going back to the Clippers. 22-17, 2:28 to go in the first quarter. Some really high-level basketball from both basketball teams, but I'm really impressed with the Clippers, the way they're playing right now, because obviously the Clippers, you know, are a team that a lot of people don't feel can win, but the Lakers got the win earlier. The Heat got the win earlier, even though definitely with Giannis being out really hurt them, but some nice basketball being played by the Clippers, and that's definitely how they're going to have to play if they want to be able to win this series. 96 says, my two favorite players of all time. I would say a lot of people have Kobe and Michael Jordan as their top two players. You're not alone for sure. Both are great. Will, thanks for being here, Will. He says, go Clips, go. Go Bones Highland. Don't have high hopes as well, though. You never know, but like you said, Bones Highland, another sneaky good addition by the Clippers. They got him from the Nuggets. They got Eric Gordon from the Rockets. So I think that both players are really solid additions for the Clippers and will maybe help them withstand Paul George's absence a little bit more. But definitely the reason they're winning early, the Clippers, is because Eric Gordon has a quick 12 points. That's definitely what they're going to have to do if they want to win. Dan Jones says, I do too. Love them both and would like to start collecting their cards. Big fan of that whole 96 class. Iverson, Marbury, Nash, Kittles, John Wallace, Antoine Walker, Camby, and Abdur Rahim. Yeah, so many great players from that year. Just you go back and you think about some of these past draft class and just some of these past teams, and it's insane how talented some of these teams were and how good some of these basketball players were in the past. You think about all the great players that are today, and they deserve all the credit that they get because they are all fantastic. But man, in the past, there were some great players. But we have a really good game so far, 22-17. The Clippers are over the Suns. Some really good basketball being played. I feel like the Suns need to close out a bit harder on the Clippers, but I think the Clippers are definitely playing some opportunistic defense, kind of shutting down Chris Paul and KD a little bit. In this game, I kind of feel like, Devin Booker, he's going to get his just because of how good he is. But if you can kind of slow down Chris Paul and make it tougher for him to facilitate to the other players on the Suns, that potentially is how you crack the code and are able to beat the Phoenix Suns. Because Kevin Durant and Devin Booker are just great off the dribble, getting mid-range jump shots. I feel like Chris Paul is kind of the head of the attack. You got to be able to slow him down. With the Clippers, it's a little bit more complicated because when you have Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, you can't really stop both. You can kind of key on one, and it makes it a lot easier if one of them's having a bad game to be able to beat the Clippers, but the role players have to step up, and they've done well early, but they're going to have to do that for a full game. It's going to be very difficult to do that. There's still plenty of time in this game for the Suns. It's the first quarter after all, but a nice start nonetheless for the Clippers to inspire confidence for the Clippers to be able to have a chance. And you want to be able to keep, the crowd out of the game overall for, the Suns. You don't want the Suns crowd to get in the game. And if you're the Clippers, that's how you're going to be able to win. You're able to win on the road when you can keep the crowd kind of neutralized and get it where they're not at their peak volume. When they're at their peak volume, it makes it almost impossible to think as the opposing team because of how loud the crowd is. So I think that that's helped the Clippers early, being ahead most of this time. But still, with the NBA, we can see runs at any time, and the Suns can just go on a big run, anytime in this game. And I think that definitely the Clippers are going to have to play nearly a flawless basketball game and have tons of players playing at a high level if they want to win. But Ty Lue, the head coach of the Clippers, he's been a head coach for 7 years, obviously won it all with the Cavaliers with LeBron James, but now he's with the Clippers, and he has a really solid team. Terrence Mann is into the game for the Clippers, averaging around 9 points per game, along with Kawhi Leonard, Eric Gordon as well. And Kawhi Leonard with the mid-range jump shot, 24-17. Kawhi Leonard looks good early for the Clippers, hitting a big shot there. It's 24-17. Under 2 to go in the first quarter. And now you've got Landry Shamet kicking into the corner and a missed three by the Suns. Mason Plumlee, who's also into the game for the Clippers, he gets the rebound. Mason Plumlee was another addition from the Nuggets that the Clippers got. And now Terrence Mann driving into the lane, and Terrence Mann draws a lot of contact. It looks like Terrence Mann might be a bit shaken up. That's very unfortunate for him. You definitely don't want to see any injuries in this playoff. Obviously, Giannis Antetokounmpo, he fell really hard for the Bucks, and hopefully he will be okay. But you definitely don't want to sustain injuries in these important games because you have to have your full team. And already the Clippers are down Paul George. But Terrence Mann looks to be okay. He's at the line for his first free throw, and his first free throw is up and in. Will says Suns choked against the Mavs last year, so there is some hope that they will collapse again. Yeah, you are right about that. That was awful the way they played against the Mavericks. I remember that series. It was very disappointing watching the Suns play the way that they did and losing. But I agree that it is definitely possible that that could happen again against the Clippers, but it will be interesting. But Bones Hyland, he's now into the game for the Clippers. Obviously, Will, a big fan of Bones Hyland, who played at Virginia Commonwealth. Really appreciate you for being here, Will, and everybody that stopped by so far. But 26-17. The Clippers are up over the Suns. It's been a really nice start to the game, back and forth action, but another turnover for Phoenix, and Bones Hyland misses a three. But they get the offensive rebound, and now the Clippers have the ball again. Norman Powell has the basketball. Norman Powell goes up strong in the mid-range, and he is fouled. I think the foul is on the floor, so no free throws. Norman Powell tried to draw the foul, but there is no free throws. 26-17 Clippers, 1:29 to go in the first. Definitely some back and forth action right now. Norman Powell is the leading bench scorer in the NBA with 17.6 points per game. He's over Bennedict Mathurin and Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook was obviously coming off the bench when he was at the Lakers. But that is some incredible stats right there by Norman Powell. And definitely it's awesome to see a guy like Norman Powell that doesn't mind coming off the bench. Obviously you want to start, but he don't mind coming off the bench, and he has a lot of big games. 9 games with 25-plus points off the bench, most in the NBA, and he has a great chance to win NBA Sixth Man of the Year. Norman Powell, a great player, and he'll have to have a big series for the Clippers if they want to win. But he splits the free throws. It's 27-17. 1:20 to go in the first quarter. And Bismack Biyombo, he's into the game for the Suns. He's definitely been an asset for the Suns this year, but he misses a dunk, but they do call a foul on the drive. So he will be shooting some free throws. I think they called the foul on Mason Plumlee down low, but he tried to go for the slam jam, but it did not go, and they called the foul on Mason Plumlee. So Biyombo, he's at the line. He's definitely a player that plays really hard overall. For the Suns, he's a guy that definitely wants to be in the NBA. He's averaging 4 points per game this year in 14 minutes, but he does whatever is asked of him. Definitely a very inspiring player overall. For the Suns, how hard that he plays, because of the fact he definitely is a guy that knows that if he doesn't play at a high level, he probably will not be in the NBA. And he was not in the NBA for some time, but now he is because of the fact of his effort, and the Suns really like bringing him off the bench for the energy that he provides. It's really nice to see a guy bring that energy. But 27-18, he split the free throws, 1 to go in the first quarter. And you've got Bones Hyland with the basketball, swings it over to Mason Plumlee. Now Norman Powell has the ball at the top of the key. He's trying to make a move, and he goes up strong, and a big block by Biyombo, and that's why they have him in as well. His defense is impeccable. Now Devin Booker into the lane, and he gets it stolen from by Terrence Mann. Bones Hyland back to Terrence Mann. Mann goes up strong, and he is fouled. 51 seconds left in the first quarter. It's 27-18. And Terrence Mann will have a couple of free throws. Terrence Mann definitely drew some contact there. There was a lot of contact going in the lane. Terrence Mann, he has definitely been banged up early in this game. He's had a lot of contact so far, but thankfully he looks to be okay. He's got 2 points and an assist so far. Both of his points are previously from the free throw line, but he has 2 more free throws, and his first free throw is good. And the Clippers have a 10-point lead, 28-18 over the Phoenix Suns. Some really impressive basketball by the Clippers to start this game. Will says, what do you think? What do you guys think about the Kings-Warriors series? The first game was fantastic, but I think the Warriors will still win the series. I would have to agree with you. I still think the Warriors will, but that was a great performance by Malik Monk, having 32 points. A great performance by him, and 38 points from De'Aaron Fox, but they're going to have to keep that up if they want to be able to keep winning. That was a great performance. But Terrence Mann, he does miss the second free throw. 28-18, 45 seconds to go in the first quarter. Devin Booker has the basketball at the top of the key. And you've got Devin Booker driving into the lane, and Devin Booker's shot is no good in the mid-range. 28-18, 33 seconds left. Jeff says, Will, indeed, great game, and you're probably right, but Kings can win. I agree with you as well. I think the Kings do have a chance. They possibly could win the series, but the Warriors are still a great basketball team with so many veterans. Terrence Mann, he has the basketball in the corner. It is almost a turnover, but it's not a turnover. Norman Powell keeps the ball for the Clippers. The Suns are trying to play some opportunistic defense, especially because their offense is struggling. 10 seconds to go in the first quarter. Clippers up by 10, 28-18. 5 seconds to go in the first quarter. Norman Powell with the basketball. He's trying to shake Devin Booker. Goes up strong in the mid-range, and his shot falls 32-18. Nice play there. And the Clippers, you couldn't ask for a better start to this game than a 12-point lead at the end of the first quarter. What a performance by the Clippers, 32-18. Will says, yeah, I'm hoping it goes to 7 games. I hope so as well. The more series that go to 7 games, the better for sure. You definitely want to see all these games go as far as possible. It's always great to see because the more games that go farther, you have more games overall, and it means that the games and the series are really competitive, and that is always awesome to see. Will says, Bismack's little brother Biscuit played soccer at VCU. That's really cool. I did not know that. That's an awesome story there. It's awesome to know that, you have relatives that are also in sports, and the fact that they potentially are good at other sports and aren't just basketball and football. For sure, that's awesome. I'm playing soccer, and it's really cool just to see Bismack Biyombo get the opportunity that he's getting in the NBA for sure. HEB Sports, thanks for being here. He says, what's your contact for a business opportunity? I don't know. Thanks for being here. And if you want to contact me for sure, my email address is in the description of my YouTube channel. For sure, you can hit that and email me. But thanks for the potential opportunity there. I really appreciate you for being here. But my email is definitely in my video description. But thanks for being here nonetheless. This is a fantastic game so far. I'm really liking the prospects for the Clippers because I know a lot of people think the Suns are going to run away with this series, but the Clippers, obviously it's one quarter and you have to be able to sustain it, further than this, but this is a great start for the Clippers. You can't ask for a much better start, and they have to play at this high of a level, for the rest of this game if they want to be able to win. There's no way that the Clippers are going to be able to win this series if they're not getting production from players like Eric Gordon and Norman Powell. And they've delivered so far. It's been, some impressive action overall, the way that they're playing. The rest of the teammates, it's not just Kawhi Leonard and no Paul George, so you have to get production from other players. And I think that they've done what they need to do so far. It's kind of one of those things where you just got to keep playing at a high level. There's nothing else that you can do if you want to win the series. There's nothing you can do about having all of your star players being hurt, at inopportune times. And yes, Russell Westbrook is still a great basketball player, but he's going to have to deliver because no one really believes in him right now. That's why he has been called Russell Westbrook lately, which is very unfortunate for him because I think that he is still a really good basketball player. But it's one of those things where you have to be able to continue to play at a high level game in and game out because people only remember what they last see. And even though you are a talented player, Russell Westbrook, people don't really think about, your past. They don't really think about Russell Westbrook from 5 years ago. That's the biggest issue overall. No one's really thinking about Russell Westbrook when he was at the Thunder. That era is gone. Him and Durant, that was a fantastic era, and he was one of the best players in the NBA, putting up triple doubles, 3 years in a row, I think, or at least 2 out of like 3 years. Then he did it another time. He was really good, great basketball player, but he's definitely kind of degraded a little bit. But I still think he's a good player. It's just one of those things where you have to play well all the time. You just can't have bad games. And he has had a lot of bad games recently, but he still has a lot of talent. But the Clippers overall have been very impressive the way that they are playing at this stage of the game. And I think if it can continue, for the majority of this basketball game, there's a really good chance that the Clippers win this game. I don't know if it'll be enough for them to win the series, but they're playing some really solid basketball. And I am definitely liking the prospects, for the Clippers in this game because they're keeping the Suns crowd out of it so far, and they're playing at a really high level, and they have a 12-point lead, 30-18. But the Suns do have the basketball to start the second quarter, 11:40 to go in the second quarter. Now, Russell Westbrook down the lane to Terrence Mann, and Terrence Mann, he falls down, and there is another foul drawn. Another foul is drawn. But I think they called an offensive foul on Terrence Mann this time. I thought Terrence Mann was going to potentially have another foul drawn against him, but they called the foul against him. So it's 32-18. Clippers up by 12, but Phoenix has the basketball. 11:20 to go in the second quarter. Josh Okogie has the ball, swings over to Kevin Durant, and Durant in the left corner, he misses the mid-range jump shot. That was a good look for KD, but he could not get the shot to fall. So Phoenix only with 18 points in the first 13 minutes of this game. That's not ideal for an NBA team. Mason Plumlee swings to Norman Powell in the corner. And Norman Powell for three, 33-18. Big shot by Norman Powell. 10:50 to go in the second quarter. That is a huge shot by Norman Powell. He has 6 points, and that's definitely going to help the Clippers in this game with a Norman Powell that's playing at a high level because he is a really good player. He's a really good player overall. I've always thought that Norman Powell definitely had a lot of talent overall, and that him coming off the bench was always interesting, but it's been a really good start to this game for the Clippers. You can't ask for much more. 33-18, and it's a 13-1 run for the Clippers. And the Clippers have the basketball as well, trying to grow their lead. Terrence Mann has the basketball, and Terrence Mann, he does draw a foul this time, and the foul is not against him. But Terrence Mann, he's playing some smart basketball. You want to get fouls on your opposition. If you can do that, it will potentially be able to help you win in the end if you have a lot of fouls drawn against your opponent, because then they'll have to sit at key moments in the game. But now you have Mason Plumlee with the ball. Over to Bones Hyland. Bones Hyland gets it back to Plumlee. Bones Hyland's in the corner again, trying to make a move. He shoots a three, and it's an air ball. Bad shot by Bones Hyland. You're definitely trying to make a big play. That's a bad shot there. KD inside to Biyombo, and there is a foul. Jeff says Durant is also far tonight, 100%. Will says, I agree. 0 points for Kevin Durant is unacceptable. 0-5 from the field. And yeah, if you want to have a win, if you're a Suns fan, Durant is going to have to be able to hit some shots. That's why you got him. That's why you brought him in and traded Cam Johnson and Mikal Bridges away and all those picks, because Kevin Durant's so talented. But 0 points so far is not good. Will says, no, Bones, that was bad. I agree. That was not a good shot there. But still, Bones Hyland is a really good player. That was a bad shot. He definitely has to do a better job of not making bad mistakes like that. You have to take better shots. When you're in these big games like this, these are the type games that you have to make every possession count. You have to play at a high level, and you can't shoot bad shots. You can't chunk up threes. Sometimes it's at the end of the shot clock, but you just have to take every advantage of every possession that you possibly can. But Biyombo, he's at the line for the second free throw because he did miss the first, and he makes it 33-19. Russell Westbrook, he has the basketball now for the Clippers, trying to go down the floor. Westbrook has not had the best start to the game so far, but he does get the ball to Plumlee. Mason Plumlee down low, 35-19, and the Clippers are up by 16 points. What a start for the Clippers. Could we be seeing another Suns versus Mavericks series unfolding? Who knows? But it is early still in the game. Kevin Durant with the basketball. He's driving in. He tries to drive, but he does lose the ball out of bounds. But it will stay Suns basketball because they say it was poked out of bounds. Jeff says he agrees with Will. For sure. Right now, Kevin Durant's not playing that well. And then you look at Bones Hyland not playing as well. But Bones Hyland's not as important as Kevin Durant is overall to the team. The Suns need Kevin Durant to play well. But the Clippers do have some other good players. Kevin Durant, he goes up strong and draws a foul. So he will be going to the line, and that is a good sign for Kevin Durant because he is a great free throw shooter. He has the little shimmy as well, which is always funny to see. But he is a really good basketball player at being able to shoot threes and be able to shoot at the line for his height. He is a fantastic free throw shooter, and he shoots around 90% at the line. Some seasons, I don't know what he's at this season, but he's had some seasons shooting 90%. And right there, he gets his first point of the game at the line. He's a great free throw shooter. He's very reliable. Jeff says crazy so far for Durant. But maybe the free throw line will be able to get him going. Who knows? But he is definitely going to have to start making some shots because right now you're not getting much from Paul and you're not getting much from some of the other players either. I think Devin Booker's had a couple of nice shots, but he hasn't done enough so far. Definitely needs more production. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens as this game unfolds. But the Clippers definitely have to be happy where they're at. They're up 35-21 over the Suns. They're kind of in cruise control the way they're playing. Very confident basketball. Norman Powell, he does go up strong with the three, but he's not able to knock it down. 35-21, 9:20 to go in the second. Kevin Durant with the ball. Kevin Durant goes up strong in the mid-range, and Kevin Durant right on cue. He hits the free throws, and now he hits a couple shots. That's big for Kevin Durant's confidence. 35-23, 9:10 to go in the second quarter. Now you have Bones Hyland with the ball. He shoots another three, and he gets it to drop. 38-23, and Bones Hyland goes from air ball to I would say swish, but he did rattle at home. 38-23. Great start for the Clippers. Now you've got Ayton back into the game. He swings it over for Ross, and that is a miss. Will says, let's go. He is so excited with the Clippers. Still appreciate you for being here tonight, Will. Mason Plumlee has the basketball for the Clippers. Still up by 15. He thought about swinging it to Bones Hyland, but does get the ball to Terrence Mann. Mann shoots the three in the corner, and his three is off. Maybe not the best shot there trying to go for the step back, but Kevin Durant, he has it now with his lanky frame trying to make a play. See what he can do. He's on the right wing, being guarded by Terrence Mann. Very hard. He swings over to Chris Paul, who's also back into the game. Chris Paul, the veteran, trying to make a move. Shoots over Plumlee, and his mid-range shot is no good. Chris Paul definitely going to have to be a big part of the offense for the Suns if they want to have a big chance to win. Now you've got Bones Hyland with the ball. Swings over to Westbrook, and Westbrook right on cue misses another three, but Westbrook gets the ball back inside, and he misses another two. Westbrook is off right now. Durant with the basketball, bringing the ball back up the floor, being guarded by Norman Powell, but he swings to DeAndre Ayton, and that was a breakdown on defense, 38-25, 7:46 to go in the second quarter. Right now, they might be checking on Mason Plumlee right now. He looks like he maybe could have got banged up. I'm not sure, but there is a timeout. So it's 38-25. Really good start to the game for the Clippers. They're playing some great basketball overall. I'm really liking their performance from the Clippers. They're giving a lot of confidence that they could potentially win this series. Again, I always say it's way too early to get ahead of ourselves for sure. There's still plenty of time in this game, but I do think that there is a great chance overall that the Clippers could continue this run and be able to potentially keep up this lead. They're doing a great job overall. They're neutralizing Chris Paul. They're neutralizing Kevin Durant to an extent, and they're just playing more opportunistic basketball right now. Will said, would the Suns have an NBA title if they would have picked Luka Doncic instead of DeAndre Ayton? Now, that is a great question, and I would probably have to say yes, because Luka Doncic is a fantastic player. You talk about DeAndre Ayton. He is a player that is improving. I think he averaged 18 points per game this season, but you look at Luka Doncic, he's a superstar, and it's not his fault the Mavericks didn't make the playoffs. I don't even think you can blame Kyrie Irving. I think you can blame how much the Mavericks traded away to get Kyrie Irving as the issue. But yes, you look at Luka Doncic, he's a fantastic player. I think that DeAndre Ayton, while he's improving, the Suns were trying to trade him, but they weren't able to get enough for him. I think they almost traded him to the Pacers, but the Pacers did not take him. And obviously, you ended up having the Suns matching the offer and keeping him. But I don't think Ayton's improved to the point where the Suns are really satisfied with him either, because he is a great player. But when you want to be able to win a title, you have to have a fantastic superstar, which obviously the Phoenix Suns do have Devin Booker. They do have Kevin Durant, but do they have a lot else? I'm not sure. They need a lot more to be able to win the whole entire thing in NBA title. With the amount of great teams that there are in the NBA in this day and age, I don't think that the Suns have the biggest bench anymore. Landry Shamet's solid. Torrey Craig is solid, but I think they need a lot more bench production to be able to have a chance to win this series and be able to potentially win the whole NBA title. They need more bench production. Unfortunately, they gave away a lot of it to be able to get Kevin Durant, but we'll see if it works out. But to your point, I really think Luka Doncic would have made a big difference for sure. Jeff says, good question. Not sure, but it definitely is a possibility. Jada says, hi, Jeff. Thank you for being here, Jada. How's your night going? Going really well. How's it going for you? I hope it's going really well, but I really appreciate you being here. He says, how's the game? It's been a really good game so far. You look at the Clippers up 38-25 right now. It's been a really solid performance by the Clippers. Eric Gordon started out the game on fire. He had 12 early points. He hasn't scored since, but you're getting some decent production from Norman Powell and Kawhi Leonard. But for the Phoenix Suns, Kevin Durant is ice cold. He did hit one jump shot recently. But overall, it has definitely been kind of a slugfest early for Phoenix. Need to get their crowd going. The crowd is waiting to erupt. They have not really had much to cheer on so far. And for the Clippers, they are doing exactly what they want. They're doing everything they possibly can to be able to slow down Phoenix. And I think that they're in great shape right now to be able to potentially win this game because they're on a roll right now. They're doing great all over the floor. Now, Jada says, who's your pick? I would probably say at the beginning of the game, I'll go Phoenix. I would say Phoenix would win, but now I don't know. Maybe the Clippers have the advantage. I'm still probably going to lean Phoenix because I think that they have the potential to be able to come back and be able to win this game, but I'm not confident in the way they're playing right now. They need to do a lot more. And they need to find a way to get going in a hurry because if not, then it could get ugly. But then on the other end, a breakdown on defense. I don't know what Phoenix was doing down there, but they just gave an easy dunk to Ivica Zubac, and he got a big dunk there, 40-25. Not looking good overall for Phoenix. Phoenix is really struggling to find some offense. But Chris Paul, he is down low. He gets the ball to DeAndre Ayton, and DeAndre Ayton's trying to go up strong on Ivica Zubac, and he gets the shot to fall. Phoenix now up to 27 points, but just not doing a great job on the offensive end overall when you only have 27 points in 17 minutes in the NBA. Need a lot more points. But Zubac on the other end, 42-27. And the Clippers are now up by 15 points again, and they're doing a fantastic job in this game all around the offensive and defensive end. Durant takes a tough two and everything right for the Clippers, but they did foul Durant. You cannot foul Durant. You don't want to give him easy points, but they did a great job making his shot tough. but he did end up getting fouled, and he will be going to the free throw line where he shoots a great percentage at the line. And that's not what you want to do if you're the Clippers, because Durant can get hot by getting hot at the line. If he starts making some free throws, sees the ball go through the net, that can really help his confidence out and help the Suns overall, because if Durant gets going, then they'll have to start putting more pressure on him, and then it can start getting the other players on the team going as well. Durant, he knocks down the first free throw. He's shimmying at the line. He has the basketball dribbling, and he goes up for the second free throw, and it is up and good. Solid at the line, got a great free throw stroke, but it's 42-29. The Clippers are up by a solid 13 points. A Baker's dozen and one, and you've got Kawhi Leonard with the basketball. He hasn't scored in a few minutes, but he has been solid to start this game. Eric Gordon's back into the game as well for the Clippers. He had a great first quarter. Westbrook kicks to Norman Powell. Eric Gordon, he fakes the three, and Eric Gordon's trying to drive into the lane. He goes up strong, and he misses the floater. Chris Paul, he has the basketball now. And Chris Paul has been really cold in this game. He's had a couple mid-range shots that he could not get to drop. But Paul does swing to DeAndre Ayton again, and Ayton misses the two, but Ayton steals it back from Zubac. But Zubac does end up getting his second miss. Ayton misses two chippies at the rim. Definitely should have hit both those shots, but he did not. And now you've got the Clippers going down the floor. And Eric Gordon thought he had a goaltend on him with a layup, but he did not get the shot. No goaltend either. And now Durant misses a three. Now you got Zubac with the rebound, still 42-29. Both offenses have gone cold right now. Now you have Kawhi Leonard with the basketball. 6 minutes to go in the second quarter. Kawhi Leonard in the mid-range. He tries to go up strong, but loses the basketball. Now Eric Gordon has it on the right wing with Chris Paul guarding him. Eric Gordon trying to make a move. 3 seconds to go in the shot clock. He kicks over to Kawhi Leonard, and it is a shot clock violation. Fantastic defense from the Phoenix Suns. 42-29. You can't play much better defense than that. That is definitely how you win games right there and get back into games if you're in Phoenix's case, because you are down big right now. And that was a great defensive possession. When you can cause a team in the NBA not to get the shot off, that is a really good possession overall on the defensive end. But now Devin Booker's back into the game for Phoenix. He had a couple big shots early in this one, but he's going to have to get going as well. He swings over to KD, down to DeAndre Ayton, and DeAndre Ayton loses the basketball, and there is no foul call. Clippers basketball. 5:20 to go in the second quarter. Kawhi Leonard for three, and it does not drop. Now Landry Shamet has the ball, bringing it up the floor for the Suns. KD driving into the lane strong, and he lays it in. Finally, the Suns get something going. 42-31. That's a great play by Kevin Durant. He's still talented at his age, driving into the lane. But 5 to go in the second, and the Clippers have not scored in a couple minutes. Now Batum in the corner. And Batum's three is off, and Paul with the rebound. Maybe this is the chance that the Suns need. Devin Booker down the lane. He goes up strong, and there is a foul. 42-31. Suns are down by 11. And Devin Booker will have a couple free throws. Jeff says great defense on the Suns. For sure, they did a great job on that possession on the defensive end. I thought that they did a great job switching over and not allowing anybody to be open, because sometimes you can play great defense, but if you overhelp and you leave a wide open guy, the Suns didn't do that. They played straight up defense, and they did a great job. But Devin Booker, his first free throw is up and good. He's a great free throw shooter as well. He's definitely had a great career after coming out of Kentucky, and he was the only great player on the Suns for a while, but then they started getting some good players like Ayton and Paul, and now they got Durant. But will this be the Suns' year to finally win it all? I'm not sure if they have enough, but we'll see. I still think they are a really talented team. But you do have Booker hitting the second free throw. So they have 33 points now. It's 4:50 to go in the second quarter, and now you have Kawhi Leonard with the basketball. He's trying to find some offense. He's trying to drive on DeAndre Ayton, which is a good matchup right there. Batum gets the ball down low to Zubac, who is being guarded by DeAndre Ayton on the left block. And Zubac's going up strong, and Zubac finishes. 44-33, 4:30 to go in the second quarter. Now Chris Paul with the ball, bringing it up the floor. Zubac got 8 points and 10 rebounds. He's been solid for the Clippers as well. Now Ayton on the other end, and Ayton scores in the exact same fashion as Zubac scored on him on the last possession. 44-35, 4:15 to go in the second quarter. This has been a fast-moving quarter. Both teams are moving the ball up and down the floor. Ayton has 8 points and 3 boards. Kawhi Leonard into the lane. He almost loses the basketball, but he gets it back, swings to Batum, back to Leonard. Leonard trying to find his way into the lane, goes up over Durant, and he misses the shot, but he is fouled. 44-35, 4:02 to go in the second quarter, and Kawhi Leonard will have a couple of free throws. He definitely earned that foul there driving into the lane, and he definitely got Durant in the air, and Durant fouled him. I think that you could argue maybe it wasn't too much of a foul, but he did get him a little bit on the arm before Leonard rose up into the air. Obviously, KD does not like the foul call, but it is what it is. Kawhi Leonard has 7 points, 2 boards, 2 assists, and his first free throw is up, and it is good. 45-35, 4:02 to go in the second quarter. Kawhi Leonard obviously playing some really solid basketball right now this season. He's still a great player at his age. He's getting a little bit older, but he's still really good. But Kawhi Leonard is going to have to step up even more for the Clippers if they want to be able to win this series, specifically without having Paul George, your counterpart, out on the basketball floor. He's a great player, and they're both averaging the exact same amount of points, 23.8 points per game apiece. Without Paul George, Kawhi Leonard is going to have to carry the load. Jeff, the Suns are clawing back 100%. I think that you look at the way the Suns are playing basketball right now, they've really struggled on the offensive end. They could be down by a lot more if the Clippers had been able to potentially run away with it. But the fact that they're only down 10 after having, frankly, an abysmal, first half from the offensive side of the floor, that's not too bad. It's not too bad to be only down 10. If they can cut this to around 5 or 6 at the half, I would say the Suns are in great shape to potentially be able to take the lead in the second half and be able to get the win. Giannis is Raptor boy. Kawhi, yes, Kawhi Leonard, he won a ring with the Raptors, which was probably one of the most unlikeliest places to win a ring at in the NBA. But that year, they went all the way, and Kawhi Leonard led that team. But obviously, Kyle Lowry was on as well, Serge Ibaka, Danny Green. They had some really solid basketball players. But now you had Kawhi Leonard. He didn't want to be in Canada with the Raptors, so he decided to go to the Clippers, and he's had some success there. But the Clippers have never had a great team. They're trying to get there. I think when you have Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, it's not enough if you want to be able to potentially win a ring. You have to have more players, and that's why they've traded for players like Eric Gordon and Bones Highland, which I think have really helped out their basketball team. But still, I do think that they are maybe a few players away, or maybe just the NBA being too good for them to be able to win. I think there's just too many good teams. I mean, you look at the Celtics. The Celtics are loaded. And yes, the Bucks with Giannis, when he's in, they're a ridiculously good team. Obviously, with him out, they lost today. But still, there's just a lot of great teams. And then you look at the West, which is where the Clippers are at. Playing the Suns is really tough. And then you have the Nuggets, and then you have the Grizzlies. The Lakers beat the Grizzlies. I think there's a lot of really good teams. The Kings and the Warriors as well. All these teams are really good and they pose a threat. So the Clippers are going to have to play at a high level. I like the way they played in this first half. Obviously, the Suns are starting to creep back in the game a bit, but I really like the way that the Clippers are playing overall. Giannis has too many great teams. Agree, Jeff. Thank you so much for being here again, for sure, but you are 100% correct. There's just too many great teams. I mean, I know a lot of people talk about the NBA being really great back in the 80s and 90s, and I've watched a lot of highlights that I've been able to, on the internet. It's just been really fun to watch Michael Jordan and all those players like the Magic Johnson, Larry Bird. All of those guys were fantastic. Kobe Bryant, just on and on. So many fantastic players. Alonzo Mourning, John Stockton, Karl Malone. So many players. But it just doesn't feel like there were as many great teams like there are now. I mean, I know that could be debated a million times. Maybe you can argue that there were more great teams then, but there are so many great basketball teams in the NBA today, and that's what's kind of justified this play-in tournament. You look at the play-in tournament. They have the 9 and the 10 seeds. They were really good this year. The 10 seed, both of them won, and I think that that's made the NBA so much different in the fact that there are so many teams that could win games overall, that it used to not be this way, where if you were a bottom seed, oh yeah, no chance. The 1 seed would always beat the 8. I just think that the NBA is a lot more balanced now, and I think that makes it really good, but it also makes it a lot worse for these star players that want to get a ring. It makes it that much more difficult to be able to get a ring when you're expecting, hey, we're one of the best teams in the league. We have these 2 stars. Well, now all these other teams have stars as well, and it's much more balanced now than it used to be, and it makes for definitely some interesting games overall, and it makes the NBA playoffs a lot more interesting. But Kawhi Leonard, he is at the line for his free throw, the second one, and his second free throw is up, and it is good. 46-35, 4 to go in the second quarter. So now the Phoenix Suns down by 11. They're trying to creep back in this game. They were down by as much as around 16 points, but they're starting to make a little bit of a run to get back in it. Devin Booker, he's trying to go up strong, and his fadeaway jump shot is good. 46-37. 3:40 to go in the second quarter. Eric Gordon, he has the basketball right now for the Clippers, bringing the ball up the floor. He swings over to Russell Westbrook. that a lot of people have called him, but I still think Russell Westbrook is a really good basketball player that can still provide for a team, and he's done solid for the Clippers so far with some passing, and he swings over right on cue to Kawhi Leonard, and Kawhi Leonard stepping up in the absence of Paul George, hitting a big jump shot there, and Kawhi Leonard with 11 points and 2 rebounds, and it's 48-37, but then Devin Booker on the other end, 48-39. 3:10 to go in the second quarter. Big shot there by Devin Booker, and he is such a great player driving to the hoop. 9-point lead for the Clippers. The lead is starting to shrink a little bit. And now you have Russell Westbrook passing to Nicholas Batum. Back to Westbrook. And Westbrook, he can still shoot it, and he knocks it down. Why call him Westbrook when he's still Westbrook? What a shot there by Russell Westbrook in the corner, and it's back up to a 12-point lead. Westbrook, he does hit his first shot. He's 1 of 8 from the field. That's a big shot there. And now down low, Torrey Craig for 2, 51-41. Some good basketball action going back and forth. 2:30 to go in the second quarter. And now you've got Russell Westbrook again into the lane, 53-41. 2:20 to go in the second quarter, and the Clippers are up by 12 over the Suns. Devin Booker with the ball in the mid-range. His shot is no good. He gets his own miss, though. He falls to the floor, and Kawhi Leonard steals the ball from him, just takes it away. Kawhi Leonard down the floor, going into the lane. He kicks it back out to Batum, but it's a steal by Booker. What a play by Booker to get the ball right back from Leonard. They're still fighting for the basketball. Leonard and Booker on the floor. I think they might have caught a foul on Leonard trying to go after the ball from Booker. But what action between the two players. They are on a roll. John says, I agree with you. The Celtics are stacked, lots of talent. I completely agree. The Celtics are a fun team to watch, and it's not Tatum and Brown, just them. You also have Horford and Robert Williams and Grant Williams and Marcus Smart and Derek White and Malcolm Brogdon. That's a fantastic team. So much talent overall. Jeff says Booker is moving for sure. His off-the-ball movement is unreal, and that's what makes him such a great player. Yes, he's young and he's able to do that, but his off-the-ball movement makes him so tough to guard because you can't just key on him in the corner. He can move all over the floor, come off ball screens, and hit big shots. But he's at the line for his first free throw. He knocks it down. It's 53-42, 2:05 to go in the second quarter, and Devin Booker will have another free throw to try to cut the Phoenix Suns deficit back down to 10. Chris Paul is leaving the game probably for the rest of the half, and Devin Booker's second free throw is up and good. So it's 53-43. I think Cameron Payne's on the sideline. Maybe he's a bit banged up, which really hurts the Suns' depth. That stinks for sure. Cameron Payne's a fun player to watch. They just showed him, but oh, man, what a pass by Westbrook down to Eric Gordon. Eric Gordon now with 14 points down low, 55-43. The Clippers are back up by 12. 1:40 to go in the second quarter. KD driving, though, in the lane with a mid-range shot, and it's pure. What a shot by KD. 55-45, 1:30 to go in the second quarter. That's a great play by KD, and he is still a fantastic basketball player at his age. That's why they got him. He definitely has to play at a high level for it to be a worthy trade overall. But it's 55-45, 1:31 to go in the second quarter. The Suns cannot get it with under 10, though. They get it around 10, but then they can't get it below that. And that's what the Suns are going to have to do if they want to get back in this game. I think Westbrook tried to draw a foul there. I don't know if they called an offensive foul on him or not, but I think they did call a defensive foul on DeAndre Ayton. Jonas says, who's the home game, Jeff? It is at the Phoenix Suns. They're the 4 seed. The Clippers are the 5 seed, so it is at the Phoenix Suns. And their crowd's trying to get in the game, but the Suns crowd cannot get into the game when the Clippers are playing this well. Josh is great call to be back at half. Thanks for being here, John. I can't wait to see you back. Thanks for being here. But this has been a fantastic game so far. I'm liking the effort from the Clippers, though, as the road team and the underdog without Paul George. And DeAndre Ayton, he looks so, in purple's at the ref, like, how is that a foul on me? He's very quizzical. But it does look like the Clippers are going to be going to the line up by 10. They have the potential to hit some more free throws to extend this lead. And Kawhi Leonard's first free throw is up and good. So it's 56-45. 1:24 to go in the second quarter. Kawhi Leonard is having a great first half. He isn't having like maybe the most explosive first half, but he's doing all the right things. And his teammates are really stepping up at key moments, hitting some big shots. Eric Gordon's got a a lot of points in the first half. Some good contributions from Norman Powell. I'm really liking the team effort from the Clippers. And Kawhi Leonard, he knocks down the second free throw. 57-45. Clippers still maintaining around that 10 to 12 point lead, which is very vital for them to potentially be able to get this road victory and be the third team to win the road game as the underdog today. But KD doesn't want to let that happen. KD with the three. 57-48. 1 to go in the second quarter. And what a shot by Kevin Durant. Now you've got Terrence Mann with the basketball. He's into the game for the Clippers. Now it's in Kawhi Leonard's hand. Still a 9-point lead for the Clippers. Terrence Mann loses the basketball, and Devin Booker, what a steal by Booker. He is moving, and he is doing everything he possibly can to bring his team back. Durant into the lane. Back to Booker for the layup. 57-50, 45 seconds left. What a shot. What a pass by KD to Devin Booker, and Booker with the massive layup there. And they've gotten it down to 7 now. The lowest deficit they've had in a while, but Kawhi Leonard in the lane. And Leonard goes up strong. And what a putback by Zubac. 59-50, 33 seconds to go in the second quarter. What a play by Zubac. 9-point lead for the Clippers. 25 seconds left in the first half. And KD goes up strong, and he draws a foul. So it looks like he will have some free throws. Kevin Durant doing what he does best, driving into the lane, getting some contact. But Zubac, what a putback by him off the Kawhi Leonard miss. And now Kevin Durant will have 2 free throws where he is usually money at the line. He's been doing a great job at the line in this game so far. I think he is 4 of 4, and he's 4 of 5 from the field since starting 0 of 5 from the field. So he's starting to get going in this game, and that has resulted in the Suns getting back in this game as well. And Durant, he hits the first. 59-51, 26 seconds left in the first half. They are still showing Kevin Durant's highlights right now, and he's done a great job hitting some big mid-range shots. And once Kevin Durant starts getting involved in the game, then the rest of his game just falls really well. His passing gets going, and he just starts making some, great instinctive plays as the star player that he is, and it really gets the rest of the team going as well. I think it's really key for Kevin Durant to play well for the Suns' success. As much as the other players are important, the role players and Chris Paul and Devin Booker and Ayton, Kevin Durant they got him. Kevin Durant is the reason that a lot of people think that the Suns can win an NBA title. That's why they traded for him. He's got to play at a high level. But he hits the second free throw. It's 59-52, 15 seconds left in the second quarter. Kawhi Leonard's palming the basketball at the top of the key. Kawhi Leonard drives in behind the back dribble, trying to go up on Torrey Craig. He loses the basketball, and it almost scores a behind the back shot, but it does not go in. And with 4 seconds left, Kevin Durant collides with Terrence Mann at half court. There's a massive collision, and I think that there will be some free throws potentially if I think the Clippers are in the bonus for Kevin Durant to go to the line. That was a massive collision. I hope KD is okay, but what a collision there overall. 59-52. Yeah, it definitely was. I think they ended up calling the foul on Eric Gordon. It wasn't Terrence Mann. It was on Eric Gordon. He tried to draw the charge, but Kevin Durant will be going to the free throw line for 2 more free throws. Eric Gordon does not like the foul. He felt that he had a charge there, but Durant's first free throw is up, and it is good. 59-53. 4 seconds left in the second quarter, and I feel like this is where the Suns want to be. They had a bad first half, but they started to get it going, specifically Kevin Durant, late in that second quarter. And they started hitting some big shots. And now they've got this thing down to 5, 59-54. That's not bad, only being down by 5. And Norman Powell with the 3, and it is no good. And that is your halftime score. Clippers 59, Suns 54. And after a disastrous beginning of the game for the Phoenix Suns, only down by 5 at the half, that's not a bad place to be. And we are set up potentially for a fantastic second half, and I'm looking forward to the second half indeed. But today has been a really interesting day in the NBA. You've had the 2 road teams getting massive wins. The Los Angeles Lakers going on the road at the Memphis Grizzlies, getting a huge win there. And Rui Hachimura at 27 points off the bench. That is massive overall for the Lakers, and it just goes to show you, again, it's just as important as players like Anthony Davis and LeBron James. The role players are key as well. Rui Hachimura, a guy that averages 9 to 10 points per game, coming in, and he's going up there and scoring 27 points off the bench. And then you look at D'Angelo Russell. He had 19 points as well. That's why the Lakers won. And I think that Ja Morant ended up having around 18 points. So he had a solid game, but it's not like Ja Morant played at his best. And that's why the Lakers got the road win. They stole a road win, and that's going to be really key for the Lakers potentially being able to win the series. And a lot of people think that the Lakers could win the series. And I think now they potentially have a great shot because of the fact that they were able to get a road win. Because now all you have to do is be able to win all your home games the rest of the way, and you're going to win the series. So the Lakers have done themselves a big deed there, getting that road win. And then you got the Miami Heat. They were able to go on the road and beat the Milwaukee Bucks. And I think that's huge as well for the Miami Heat. But obviously, Giannis Antetokounmpo fell on his back and he got hurt and he missed the rest of the game. And I think that's a big reason that the Miami Heat were able to win. And it's going to all hinge on for the Bucks if Giannis Antetokounmpo is able to return the rest of the series and play at a high level. And if he is, I think the Bucks still will be okay because I think they're by far the better team, especially with Giannis. But if Giannis is able to return and he's not 100% healthy and he's not playing as well, or if he's not able to return at all, you never know. The Miami Heat could get a massive steal there, being the 8 seed, beating the 1 seed. But obviously way too early to say that. Still tons of basketball left to be played in that series. But that was a great win for the Heat and their psyche after really struggling on the offensive end for the most of the season. And the Miami Heat did a great job shooting the basketball against the Bucks. At the Bucks, I think that will be big for their confidence and potentially help them when they go back home to be able to maybe win both of their home games and maybe be able to beat the Milwaukee Bucks in that series, specifically if Giannis is not healthy or able to play. But we'll have to see what happens there. But this game right here, it couldn't have started any better for the Clippers. The way they started the game against the Suns, they were on a roll. Eric Gordon was on fire early, and then you started getting some big shots by Kawhi Leonard and Norman Powell. And Ivica Zubac was great on the glass on both ends of the floor. He was doing a fantastic job for the Clippers, and they were up big. They were up, I think, 16 points, 15, 16 points at one time. But then slowly but surely, the Suns started to creep their way back into the game, and that's why we're now down to 5 points at the half as their deficit for the Suns, because you look at Kevin Durant. He started to get going. But I'm still not liking what I'm seeing right now from DeAndre Ayton. I'm not really liking what I'm seeing from Chris Paul in this game. I think Devin Booker's been really solid. Maybe he hasn't had the best statistical first half that he's ever had in his career. By no means. By far, it hasn't been his best. But Devin Booker's been very active, and Devin Booker's doing great things on the defensive end. He's gotten some steals, and he's moving around the floor. He's giving 100% maximum effort. But Chris Paul just looks a bit sluggish right now. And I don't know if it's going to take him longer to get in the rhythm of the game. Obviously, it's already the half. And I think, throughout Chris Paul's career, as I've known by watching Chris Paul, he's always been more of a second half player. He's always done a better job in the second half overall than in the first half. So I think that Chris Paul, if he could start hitting some mid-range shots and getting things going in the second half, I think that will be massive for the Suns. And if Chris Paul can start passing the ball as well like he was doing at times in the first half to some of his teammates, that's when the Suns are at their most potent, their highest potential level of offense is when Chris Paul is doing his part and he's playing at a high level from the point guard position. I don't think Chris Paul had a great first half, so it's very lucky they're only down by 5. And then you look at DeAndre Ayton, I think he does have 8 points. So it's not like he hasn't contributed in this game at all, but DeAndre Ayton is a player that is definitely improving, but he's maybe not improving at the rate a lot of people were thinking. Maybe some people think DeAndre Ayton's kind of maxed out his potential. I don't want to think that. I want to believe that he has so much more left in him. I want to believe that DeAndre Ayton can go a lot further in his career and maybe improve a lot more than he already has. But it's one of those things with DeAndre Ayton. You have to have the confidence to be able to step up in these big games. Rui Hachimura is a guy that don't even average more than 10 points per game, and he goes up there and scores 27 for the Lakers in game 1 of that series. Does that mean Rui Hachimura is going to have those type of performances the rest of the time in the series for the Lakers? More than likely not, and it can't really expect that. But you have to have the confidence to step up in these big games. Jordan Poole erupted for the Golden State Warriors in the playoffs. Before the playoffs, he was solid, and you could tell he was getting better. But when the playoffs began, that's when Jordan Poole burst out onto the scene, and everybody started thinking Jordan Poole is maybe a potential third Splash Brother as good as he's playing. But that's where DeAndre Ayton, this is the time that Ayton has to play really well. Because even though Bismack Biyombo comes in and plays well and he's a really solid player overall, I think that looking at Suns, you look at their roster, Ayton is by far their best post player. He has to play well. And if they can get by the Clippers, and I'm not nothing against Ivica Zubac. I think he's done a fantastic job in this first half. But Ayton's allowing Zubac to dominate the glass. That's an issue because if the Suns get by this game, how is DeAndre Ayton going to be able to stop some of the best centers in the sport, in the NBA? Can he slow down Nikola Jokic on the offensive end? Can he slow down Giannis Antetokounmpo if the Suns go all the way and that's who they play as well? I don't know if he can. Because of the fact, yes, I think that DeAndre Ayton can hold his own on the offensive end, especially on someone like Nikola Jokic, who maybe arguably isn't the greatest defender in his own right. I do think Nikola Jokic is a solid, defender at times, but it's not his strength. He's a much better offensive player. Maybe Ayton could score on him, and Ayton has scored some on Zubac. But Ayton is not defending that well either. Zubac's gotten tons of putbacks. Zubac has like 10, 11 boards. That's not what you want to see if you're a Suns fan. Ayton has to be able to dominate on the glass more than he is. You look at the Bucks Heat game. Bam Adebayo sometimes struggles with the same things that DeAndre Ayton struggles with, in the fact that he sometimes is not able to guard the bigger bigs because he's a little bit smaller and he's not able to get the rebounds at key points in the game. And I think that makes a big difference. And you look at when Giannis left the game, that's when Bam did not have to really worry about a big center anymore, and he was able to have a better game. I think that in this game here, you look at DeAndre Ayton. DeAndre Ayton needs to use this series, if the Suns win this series, to be able to use it as a potential stepping stone to improve against better quality bigs. Obviously, he's played against these bigs all year long, but Durant, now once he got there and was able to play in the 8 games he played, he bailed him out. And you look at Devin Booker and Chris Paul and Mikal Bridges earlier in the year, they bailed out Ayton sometimes getting dominated on the glass because they had such great offensive games. They're not really having great offensive games so far in this game, even though Durant did start to pick it up at the end of the second quarter, which is why the deficit got cut. But I do think Ayton needs to do a better job on the glass. He's getting worked right now by Zubac, and that's an issue. You can't let Zubac dominate you on the glass. Zubac's not a top 15 center in the NBA. Again, nothing against Zubac. I think he's done a great job, and I'm glad for the Clippers that he's shown up to play, and he's doing a great job. But Ayton is definitely the guy making tons more money, and he's definitely got to be a guy that's playing at a high level. Or you look at, the Phoenix Suns, they're not going to be able to win a title. He is very important to the team. He has to play well for the Suns to be able to win a title. Jeff says, great game and will be a great finish. For sure. Again, appreciate you for being here, but I completely agree with you. It has been a great game so far. And I think you look at the Lakers-Grizzlies earlier, that was a great game. And the Heat-Bucks was a great game, even though the Heat kind of took the lead in that one and just kind of rolled with it once Giannis left, and they never really gave it away. But I think you look at this game, it's been a great game so far. It had shades of maybe being a blowout if the Clippers could have blown away, but the Suns didn't let that happen. You didn't really feel like the Suns would let that happen. They're too talented of a basketball team. They have so many great players. And I think that this is a game that, as long as the Clippers keep playing with maximum effort, if Ivica Zubac still out rebounding DeAndre Ayton and Eric Gordon still making some big shots and Kawhi Leonard can kind of carry the team to the finish line, I think it's a game that the Clippers can hang around in and potentially be able to win. But if there's any stretch of this game where the Clippers go in a funk where they can't score for like 3 to 5 minutes, there is a great chance that the Phoenix Suns go on a big run and can run away with this thing. Because I still think they're definitely the more talented team without Paul George not being on the Clippers right now due to injury. But I do think that the Clippers have set themselves up, even though their lead did shrink, but they have set themselves up still potentially to be able to win this game. And I'm looking forward to the second half, because the second half is always where the interesting stuff happens. When it gets close to the end and there's like 1 minute left and it's a tie game, you cannot beat that in a basketball game. So it's going to be very interesting. I really appreciate all you guys being here so far. Like the stream down below. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. But more importantly, I appreciate all you guys for being here so far. All of you guys that have commented so far, I really appreciate all your comments. Thank you guys so much for being here. But this has been a fantastic game. I'm really looking forward to the second half. because I think it has the potential to be a wire-to-wire game that goes down to the finish, very close both ways. Still can't really predict who will win. I still believe the Phoenix Suns will find a way to win at the end because of the fact they have more of the talent that's healthy right now and playing. I think that the Clippers maybe toward the end will run out of gas because they don't have Paul George. Maybe they won't be able to hang at the end. But who knows? They've been playing some great basketball. And the Suns, like a lot of people have mentioned, Will mentioned earlier, he said that the way the Suns played last year in the playoffs, they choked against the Mavericks. And that was a horrible series they had there. They played awful in that series. If they have another bad series like they did against the Mavericks, they could very well lose the series to the Clippers. But definitely, you got Durant now. You did not have Durant last year, so things are a bit different. But you don't have Bridges and Cam Johnson anymore, which is tough. Some people would argue what would be better there overall. I think it could go either way. But Durant is a fantastic athlete, and he definitely is the reason the Suns cut the lead, though, because he started to get it going late in that second quarter. But Chris Paul, he's 37 years old, and he's still a fantastic basketball player. But he is nowhere near where he was a few years ago. It's one of those things, I've said this in my mind before, looking at the Suns, but if DeAndre Ayton was a little bit older and a little bit further along in his development, and Chris Paul was a little bit younger and still more in his prime, and now you have Durant and Booker, I think that the Suns would easily be able to win an NBA title. But unfortunately, that's not where we're at with the Suns. You look at DeAndre Ayton, he's still really young. He's kind of raw at times. He still has things he needs to improve on. And Chris Paul is just aging out a little bit. He's still a great player. And I still think Chris Paul, as a guy that's able to run the floor and be able to control a basketball team, I'd still put him in the top 10 of the NBA even now at being able to control a game. But when it comes to providing scoring from the point guard position, that's definitely declined. He's only averaging 13 points per game this season. And granted, I understand that you have Kevin Durant now on the team. You have Ayton and Booker. Maybe you don't have to score as much. But Chris Paul's scoring has declined because he just doesn't have the firepower and like the offensive ability to be able to go off the dribble and get a bucket whenever you want like he was earlier in his career. He's still really capable, and I still think that you look at a guy like Chris Paul and you say that potentially you can still be able to, have big games and be able to, contribute at a high level in the scoring column for the Suns and for the team that he plays for. I think that Chris Paul can still do that. I think that Chris Paul is still a guy that can put up 25 in a game, but I do think that Chris Paul's scoring pop is nowhere near where it used to be, and it's really unfortunate to see because of the fact he's such a great player, and aging out is what it is. That's why Dwayne Wade retired before he could really start to decline in the scoring column. He was still at the top of his game when he decided to retire. And some people, are upset with that because when you love watching a basketball player or someone still really good, you want them to play as long as they possibly can. And that's why you look at LeBron James. He's still great at his age, at 38 years old, playing at a high level. But eventually, even he's going to have to decline. He's still playing at a ridiculous level at his age. But eventually, you're going to start to slow down. And Chris Paul, he's a shorter guy. So obviously, being a short guy, it's a lot tougher to play at a high level the older you get. That's why Allen Iverson got out of the NBA and a lot of other short players got out of the NBA when they were a bit younger. But Chris Paul, he's still a really great player. But if we're talking about the Suns being able to win an NBA title, he is going to have to play some elite basketball if the Suns want to have a chance. I think that overall they have a shot, even if Chris Paul is not putting up 25 a game because they got Kevin Durant. But I'm looking at some of these other teams in the NBA. I'm looking at the Celtics. I'm looking at a healthy Bucks with Giannis. I'm looking at the Nuggets when they're playing at their best. I'm looking at the Grizzlies, some of these other teams, and I just don't know if the Suns match up with them. It is very well possible that they could. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens as these NBA playoffs progress. They should be a lot of fun. The one thing that's really cool about the NBA playoffs is the amount of teams that get to participate and the amount of, chances you get, obviously, having the 7 games and how long that the NBA playoffs last. They last for a long time, so you get to watch basketball for a long time, but we're going to be able to see how this thing unfolds and who ends up going all the way to the Eastern and Western Conference Finals and to the NBA Finals. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens. I know a lot of people think it could be the Celtics or Bucks out of the East, and then maybe someone like potentially some people are saying the Warriors. Who knows? Someone say the Nuggets. Maybe some even saying the Suns could go all the way from the West, but it's going to be very interesting for sure. But this game right here is a stepping stone, and whoever's going to be able to advance out of the first round. Will it be the Clippers or will it be the Phoenix Suns? And I think, again, it could go either way in this game. I still feel like potentially the Suns will be able to get the win in the end. But I'm really liking the way the Clippers are playing. The third quarter is about to start. They are warming up, about to get ready back into the action. But, man, what a finish to the second quarter for Kevin Durant. He was playing at an extremely high level, and I think that's huge for the Suns. The Clippers were getting a lot of contributions from a lot of players, which they have to have if they want to be able to win this game. But I do feel like the Suns were really getting it going with Kevin Durant, later on in the second quarter. And they were getting to the foul line as well, which is huge. You look at the way that they were able to get to the foul line. They had 18 free throw attempts, and they made most of those free throws. That's huge for the Suns. I think they need more of that. Get to the foul line, draw some fouls, and that will potentially be able to help the Suns be able to win this game in the second half. Justice, can't wait. It's going to be awesome. I agree with you 100%, and it is about to tip off, and it is. Chris Paul with the ball for the Suns, 11:50 to go in the third quarter. DeAndre Ayton has the ball. Now it's over into Torrey Craig's hands. Torrey Craig has it over to Kevin Durant, who was playing some great basketball late in the second quarter for the Suns. Now back to Torrey Craig. Torrey Craig goes up strong, and he lays it in off the glass. 59-56. That's a really good play by Torrey Craig. Now there's 11:30 to go in the third quarter, and the Clippers' lead is suddenly down to 3. They had a massive lead in this game, but it's disappeared. The Suns are starting to get it together. Kawhi Leonard on the other end with a mid-range jump shot, and he gets it to fall. That's money. 61-56. Great shot by Kawhi Leonard. Devin Booker on the other end for the Phoenix Suns, down by 5. 11:10 to go in the third quarter. Devin Booker with the ball. He goes up strong with the layup off the glass, and it drops 61-58. 11 to go in the third. A lot of scoring quickly in this third quarter. Teams are going back and forth. 3-point lead for the Clippers. Kawhi Leonard palming the ball yet again, guarded by Torrey Craig. Tries to go up strong. He does the mid-range shot, and he goes off glass. 63-58. That is a fantastic shot by Kawhi Leonard. He is such a good basketball player. That was a very athletic play. 10:40 to go in the third quarter. 5-point lead for the Clippers. Kevin Durant is the basketball, dribbling between his legs at the top of the key, guarded by Eric Gordon. Durant kicks to Torrey Craig for the 2. And see, when you're a guy like Torrey Craig and you're playing off of stars, that's the kind of shot you can get when KD passes the ball back to you. Really good pass there and a really good bucket by Torrey Craig. 63-60, 3-point game again. Kawhi Leonard down low, and he misses the chippy. He had a 1-foot layup, but he could not get it to drop on the reverse. 10:06 to go in the third. DeAndre Ayton in the lane, and they do call a foul, and they call an offensive foul on DeAndre Ayton. What a charge drawn by Russell Westbrook. He's still such a strong player at his age. 63-60. The game is going back and forth. Yes, it was a charge. Russell Westbrook drew it. Very intelligent play by Westbrook. Still a great defensive player. 63-60, 10:06 to go in the third quarter. Westbrook has the basketball at the half-court line. He gets it to Zubac, who's on the right block, trying to find Westbrook, who's trying to drive on Booker. Westbrook fades away for 2, and he can't get the shot to drop. Still 63-60, 9:40 to go in the third quarter. Kevin Durant, he has the basketball at the Suns logo. Still such a marvel watching a player of his size do what he can do. Torrey Craig for 3, and his shot is badly off. Kawhi Leonard with the easy rebound. 9:30 to go in the third quarter, and you've got Kawhi Leonard going in the lane. He takes contact, and he lays it in. What a ridiculous shot by Kawhi Leonard. He missed a 1-footer, but now he takes contact and hits a big shot. 65-60. Kawhi Leonard took the contact of DeAndre Ayton. He drew the foul really well, and he'll have an extra free throw. And Kawhi Leonard, he is a really good free throw shooter, so you would assume that he would be able to knock down the free throw because he shoots the ball at the line at a very high percentage. He's got 19 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. His free throw is up, and it is good. 66-60. 9:30 to go in the third quarter. Chris Paul bringing the ball up the floor. He has not scored in a long time, but Chris Paul trying to make a move. He gets into the lane, kicks out to Torrey Craig, who's gotten a lot of shot attempts in this third quarter. DeAndre Ayton goes up strong, and there is a foul on Zubac. So Ayton will be having some foul shots. Zubac tried to defend. He thought he went straight up, but they did get the bodily contact that he got on DeAndre Ayton, and DeAndre Ayton will have a couple free throws to show for it. And DeAndre Ayton, he shoots pretty well at the line. So we'll see if he can knock him down. Edwards here. Thanks for being here. Edwards says, will Clemson beat Notre Dame in baseball? Laughing aloud, which is probably because of how bad the bullpen has been. That's crazy there. But thanks for being here, Edward. And DeAndre Ayton hits the first free throw. 66-61. 9:18 to go in the third. DeAndre will have another free throw as well. Again, he's a really solid free throw shooter. He has a lot of upside. He's still improving as a player, but still feel like he needs to do more for the Suns, but he does a great job there hitting both free throws. 66-62. Russell Westbrook with the ball. 10-13 at the line for the Clippers, 17-20 for the Suns. Both teams shooting well at the line. Nicholas Batum in the corner. He can't make the shot. Zubac kicks it out. Eric Gordon now has the ball being guarded by Chris Paul. Eric Gordon trying to drive into the lane. He almost loses the basketball, but I do think they might have caught a foul on that drive on Chris Paul for reaching in on Eric Gordon. Don't think there's any free throws yet, however, because of the fact neither team is in the bonus yet. But with 9 to go in the third quarter, Eric Gordon drew that foul really well there, and it will still be Clippers basketball. Westbrook kicks it inside to Kawhi Leonard at the CarMax logo on the right wing. Leonard goes up strong. It looks like he's trying to shoot. He does over Torrey Craig. His shot will not drop, but Westbrook with the offensive rebound. Westbrook goes up strong as well, and his shot cannot drop. 66-62. Another offensive rebound. Zubac down low. He misses a shot, and there is a foul. 8:37 to go in the third quarter, and finally there is a foul after all of that contact. That is unbelievable there. There was so much contact down low. Finally, you get the foul call, but there were like 4 missed attempts for the Clippers. They had so many good looks down low, but they could not make the shots. Westbrook is really struggling to shoot in this game. His shooting percentage is really low, but Zubac is at the line. His first free throw is up. It hits back iron, but it does roll in. 67-62. Zubac will have yet another free throw. I feel like Zubac, he is playing well in this game, especially on the glass. His offensive game is definitely limited to just down low, but he is a really capable big, and he is giving DeAndre 8 fits on the glass. So he's having a solid game. His second free throw hits front iron, but they both go in. They weren't pretty, but they went in, and that's all that matters. 68-62. 8:30 to go in the third quarter. Devin Booker with the ball, driving in on Eric Gordon, and they call a foul on the drive. Eric Gordon does not like it, but Booker returned the favor on Gordon. And this time I think there will be some free throws because of the fact that there was a shot attempt there by Devin Booker. So Devin Booker will have 2 free throws where he does shoot really well at the line. Most guards do shoot well at the line in the NBA. Devin Booker really shoots well. And his first free throw, it hits front iron, but it does go in. So it is 68-63, 8:30 go in the third quarter. It's been a fantastic game between both these teams. Devin Booker's second free throw does drop, 68-64. 8:30 to go in the third. It's been a back and forth affair. Been a fantastic game. Devin Booker now up to 20 points on 7 of 13 shooting. Eric Gordon swings over to Kawhi Leonard. Eric Gordon's been quiet lately. Kawhi Leonard has the basketball, though. He's been playing well at the start of this third quarter. Westbrook fakes a 3. Westbrook drives in the lane with the step back 2, and Westbrook with the air ball, still struggling to score. His field goal percentage is really low. Now you have Devin Booker into the lane. He loses the basketball out of bounds, but they call it off of Westbrook. So it will stay Phoenix Suns basketball, 68-64, 8:03 to go in the third quarter. It's been a back and forth game. Both teams playing really good basketball. Now you've got KD on the left block. He's driving, and there's another foul, 8 to go in the third quarter. And they call that foul on Nicholas Batum, and he doesn't like the foul call. Fouls are starting to mount for both teams. Definitely a lot more driving in the second half. Players trying to get into the lane, use their athleticism. That's probably why the fouls are starting to increase. But definitely frustrating for the players that want to run the floor. 8 to go in the third. Devin Booker inbounds the ball to Chris Paul. Chris Paul still struggling on the offensive end. He's passing well, but he has not been able to make a lot of shots. Chris Paul into the lane, kicks over to Torrey Craig, and Torrey Craig off the iron, no good. Now Westbrook down the floor. 7:40 to go in the third quarter. Westbrook with the ball over to Batum, down to Zubac. Zubac gets double team. He kicks back out. Westbrook with the basketball again, and his 3 is off. He is really struggling to shoot in this game. Needs more offense for the Clippers from Westbrook. 7:20 to go in the third quarter. Devin Booker has the basketball. He goes to the left wing, cannot make a shot attempt go up due to the defense. Booker inside again, over to KD. KD back to Booker, a nice two-man game, and Booker with a nice flush in the mid-range, 68-66. And I think the Clippers use a timeout. Their offense is starting to go cold, and a lot of it's because they are not taking great shots, and Westbrook is just really struggling to shoot the basketball at the moment. Jeff says sloppy play at the moment. 100% agree. Definitely the turnover starting to mount. Both teams are just kind of struggling from the field, but the Suns are starting to shoot the ball a little bit better than the Clippers, and the Clippers take a timeout because they don't want the Suns crowd to get into it. They do not want the Suns to start gaining confidence and be able to take the lead here. The Clippers have done a great job controlling this game, but you can definitely start to see the tide turning a bit as the Suns really start to shoot the basketball well. Overall, from the field, they're starting to hit some mid-range shots. They're starting to make some threes go down, and that's a great sign overall if you're a Phoenix Suns fan. And a lot of people felt after the bad start by the Suns that eventually they'd start to get it going. Eventually, the Clippers might start to miss some shots, and that has been the case. In this third quarter, the Clippers are starting to struggle from the field, and I think that if that continues, it will be very difficult for them to win this game. They have to continue to play at a high level. They need to start getting more production from Norman Powell, Eric Gordon, Bones Hyland, some of those guys once they check into the game. Russell Westbrook, he's a really talented player, but he's not making shots right now, so either he needs to go into a more of a facilitating role or he needs to potentially stop taking shots, maybe go to the bench for a minute and have Bones Hyland come in. He did it a couple big shots. But Russell Westbrook right now is just really struggling from the field, and it doesn't really help overall the Clippers if he keeps taking shots and missing them. They really need him to make shots. So it's going to be very interesting to see what Ty Lue does with Russell Westbrook right now in the fact that he's not making shots. Does he leave him in, or does he tell him to start facilitating more? Jackson Johnson, he's back with a comment. Thanks for being here. He says, if Coach Lue and Kawhi Leonard can't get the Clippers over the hump in the big moments, then they will never go over to the NBA Finals. Well, for sure. And I mean, again, it's not really the Clippers' fault in this regard, and the fact that Paul George is out. You got to remember, that's 23 points per game that you're missing. There's nothing you can do about it. But, I mean, that's like the Bucks not having Giannis and then blaming the head coach for them and blaming the other players on the team. You can't. Giannis is the leader. Obviously, it's a little bit different with the Clippers because Paul George, Kawhi Leonard kind of share the stardom. They average about the same. They take around the same amount of shots, and they do have a lot of great role players. So missing him maybe isn't the same degree as missing Giannis. But the Clippers really do miss Paul George and his ability to take pressure off of Kawhi Leonard. I think in the first half when Norman Powell and Eric Gordon and some of the other guys were really hitting some shots, I think he was taking pressure off Kawhi Leonard. But now Kawhi Leonard's kind of having to do more now that the other players aren't making shots, and he's starting to get hounded a bit. And it's just kind of creating their offense to have, some problems overall. They're not really getting the quality of shots that they were getting in the first half. And if they're not able to get the quality of shots that they were getting in the first half really soon, then they're really going to have a hard time winning this game because Phoenix is starting to feel it. KD started to set the tone, but now Devin Booker's starting to get involved. He's getting to the stripe. He's starting to hit big shots. And Chris Paul, he hasn't done that much, but he's facilitating the ball, and he's doing a great job not turning the basketball over, which is a really good sign for Phoenix. You don't want to make mistakes. You don't want to turn the ball over and give the Clippers more chances. And I think the Clippers are actually starting to turn the ball over a bit more now. So it will be interesting to see what happens. But the trajectory of this game is starting to trend in the direction that the Phoenix Suns might take the lead and eventually start to run away with this game if the Clippers can't get something going soon. But the Clippers have the ball right now. Westbrook kicks to Batum. Westbrook is still into the game, even though he has struggled. But another turnover. Batum turns the ball over, and on the other end, Torrey Craig with the dunk for Phoenix, 68-66. And the tide is completely turning on this game. The crowd for the Suns is getting into it. They're all on their feet, and Westbrook still is struggling from the field. And right now, the Clippers' offense looks a bit ragged. Kawhi Leonard taking a tough step back too, and it's no good. Durant to Booker, and the Suns are running the floor. They can sense it. Booker misses a three, but then Paul saves it, inbounds to Torrey Craig, and he lays it in. And now the Suns have the lead, their first lead in a long time. 70-68, 6:20 to go in the third quarter. This is bad news for the Clippers. The first lead for the Suns, it was 10-8. Zubac down low, and he does draw a foul. Zubac falls hard to the floor, but 6:12 left to go in the third quarter, and the Phoenix Suns have taken the lead. A massive swing in this game, the way it's been going. Right now, the Clippers have been playing well so long in this game, but now the Suns are starting to get it going. The Suns are doing a fantastic job in this game of making big shots, and they're now starting to go on a run. Can the Clippers respond? It will be very interesting to see if they can. But Zubac, he misses the first free throw. His last two free throws that he shot were not pretty, but they both went in. But he misses the first free throw there, and it's going to be really interesting to see if he can hit the second free throw to try to cut this lead. Because right now, the Clippers need points. Jeff says the Suns are smoking now. I 100% agree. And the crowd is replicative of that. You look at the crowd, they're really getting into it. And Zubac cannot stop the surge for the Suns. He misses his second free throw. Still no points for the Clippers. Devin Booker has the basketball. He gets it to Chris Paul. The Suns are up by 2, 70-68, 5:50 to go in the third. Chris Paul into the lane. He takes a step back mid-range, and he knocks it down finally with his signature step back mid-range shot, 72-68. 5:40 to go in the third quarter. A 10-0 run for Phoenix in the last 2:40. Eric Gordon with the basketball for the Clippers. He tries to drive into the lane. He kicks to Westbrook. Westbrook goes up strong. He misses another layup, and yet another miss for the Clippers. Kevin Durant down the floor to Torrey Craig. Durant kicks down low to Ayton for 2. 74-68, and yet another timeout by the Clippers. The Clippers are collapsing right now. And we talked about earlier in this game that the Clippers could not have a moment where they didn't go without scoring for a few minutes. And that's exactly what is happening. They have not scored in over 3 minutes. And the Phoenix Suns are on a roll. And if this continues, then it looks like the Phoenix Suns will have a great chance to be able to win this game. They need to find a way to be able to slow down the momentum the Clippers do, or they will not have a chance to be able to come back. This is a fantastic performance overall. The way that the Phoenix Suns are responding in this third quarter. It started at the end of the second quarter with Kevin Durant, and it is carried over into this third quarter. They are on a massive run, a 12-0 run right now. The Clippers have not scored in over 3 minutes, and you just kind of felt like eventually they would go on a run where they would really struggle. The Clippers were not going to be able to score points, and that is what is happening right now. And kudos to the Phoenix Suns sticking with it, doing everything they possibly can to stick with it and be able to get a run going, and they're finally doing it, and they are playing some fantastic basketball. But the Clippers will have to respond quickly, or they will not have a chance. Jeff says the Suns are killing it, offense, defense, everything. And it all started with Russell Westbrook starting to struggle. Once he started to miss some shots and made it where the offense started to get ragged. Kawhi Leonard started to have to take worse shots, harder shots because of the fact Westbrook was struggling. And the problem with Westbrook on the offensive end is when he is really struggling on offense, he sometimes tries to keep shooting the basketball to be able to eventually make shots. And I understand that. You are a great player, and you're upset when you're struggling. You want to be able to make shots. But it hurts your offense when you're taking shots and you keep missing. And then the other team wants you to keep shooting because you're off, you're cold, you're not making shots. They want you to keep shooting the ball. It's almost like bait. You're taking the bait. And that's what's going on with the Clippers right now. Westbrook can't score. He's really struggling. Kawhi Leonard, his degree of difficulty on shots is increasing because he's the only guy that really is a threat right now with the way this game is going. You don't have Paul George as your counterpart. And I think that looking at Kawhi Leonard, he's eventually going to start running out of gas, and some of his shots are falling short, and it's just not looking good with the rest of the roster. Norman Powell had a good first half, but he hasn't been anywhere in this game yet, and I don't know if he's going to be able to come in and do some good things on offense. Eric Gordon's gone cold. Zubac is now starting to let the Phoenix Suns dominate him on the glass. It's not even DeAndre Ayton. Kevin Durant's getting rebounds. Some of the players are starting to rebound at a high level. Phoenix is getting offensive rebounds. They're getting in transition, and it's starting to not look too good for the Clippers. 96 is back. He says, we got another great game on our hands. Only Talk Sports for sure. Again, thanks for being here at 96. But I agree, it's been a great game, but you do see the tide starting to turn. The Clippers were up most of this game, but it is not looking good the way that they've fallen behind, and they just don't seem to have any answers right now on either side of the ball. Jackson says the question will be, if not now, when for the Suns they don't win the NBA Finals this year. Well, if they don't win the NBA Finals this year, they're probably going to have one more year next year with Paul and Durant, and then it's over because I don't think Durant's going to stick with the Suns more than a year or two, and Chris Paul's eventually going to retire. And hopefully for him, maybe he can get a ring, but it's not. He's run out of time. It's very unfortunate, too, that he's at the age he is because he's still such a good player, but it's just so many great teams. It's just a bad time to want to win an NBA title right now. So many good basketball teams. 96 says Kawhi needs a surefire number 2 option. That would be PG-13, but he's out of commission. I agree. Paul George is a great player. They both average the exact same amount of points. One option, not, hitting some shots. The other one can get going. So if Kawhi Leonard's struggling, then Paul George can get going, but you just don't have Paul George. And you definitely can see that the other players for the Clippers can't get anything going. Eric Gordon has the basketball. He's been quiet since his quick 14 points early in this game. Russell Westbrook with the ball back down to Zubac. Zubac with the ball, driving. And he goes up strong on Jock Landale, and he misses the shot. But now Westbrook with the ball, and Westbrook just misses another shot badly. That is not going to be the answer for the Clippers, having Westbrook take bad shots. It's just not going to get it done. Now Devin Booker with the basketball. Devin Booker down low. Kicks outside to KD. KD in the mid-range. Swings over to Torrey Craig for a wide open 3. And Torrey Craig is really benefiting from these stars being around him. He hits another open shot. And it's 77-68. The Clippers have not scored in a long time. It seems. Feels like 4 minutes. They need a bucket now before this thing gets out of hand. Kawhi Leonard with the basketball. In the mid-range. Swings down low to Westbrook. And Westbrook for 2 and 1. Great pass by Kawhi Leonard. Good finish by Russell Westbrook. And he seems a little banged up. And Kevin Durant's doing a great job passing in this game. He's really taking the pressure off Paul in that regard. He's driving in. And a lot of his passes have been to Torrey Craig. Torrey Craig's been the benefactor of Kevin Durant's passing off the ball. It's been fantastic to watch. He's done a great job in that regard. But you definitely see that the Clippers are definitely struggling in this game right now on the offensive end, and the Suns are taking advantage. It's 77-70. And Westbrook's free throw, he misses that as well. Still struggling from the field overall. 77-70, 4:20 to go in the third quarter. Chris Paul, he has the ball again. Cool, calm, and collected as always. The Suns are now in good shape. Devin Booker for 3, and it's good. But I don't know if they count it. Do they call the foul on the floor? Or do they call an offensive foul on Booker? They might have called an offensive foul on Booker on that shot. Did he kick his leg out? I don't know. Maybe they called an illegal screen on DeAndre Ayton. That had to be what it was. I think they called a illegal screen on DeAndre Ayton on the shot because Booker didn't do anything wrong. It was a great shot there, but they do call a foul nonetheless, and that is a break for the Clippers. Maybe the Clippers can take advantage of it and finally get a bucket again to be able to cut this lead down. That would have been a big shot for Booker. That's a big break for the Clippers getting that stop there by the referees calling that foul on DeAndre Ayton. That would have extended the lead up to 10 and really got the crowd going crazy. But the Clippers catch a break. They have the basketball. 4 to go in the third quarter, down by 7. Eric Gordon, he has the basketball. Eric Gordon trying to figure out what to do with it. Swings down low to Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard with the ball. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Another tough step back, and he misses again. Kawhi Leonard's just having to take too difficult of shots right now. 3:40 to go in the third quarter. You have Devin Booker with the ball at the top of the key by the Suns logo. Now down to Jock Landale, and Landale's shot is short from the mid-range. 3:30 to go in the third quarter. Norman Powell's now into the game for the Clippers. Eric Gordon's 3 is short. Terrence Mann tried to keep the ball in bounds, and they call it off of the Clippers. So it will be Suns basketball. 3:24 to go in the third quarter. Still a 7-point lead for the Phoenix Suns. Everything going really well right now for Phoenix. V Ohio State for the win. Thanks for being here, V Ohio State. He says, what's up, Only Talk Sports? Crazy day of basketball today as both road teams have won today. For sure, it's been insane. Definitely been talking about that. The Lakers beating the Grizzlies and the Heat beating the Bucks. Obviously, Giannis got hurt. That was really tough for the Bucks, but goes to show sometimes it's not predictable what's going to happen, but it will be interesting to see if those underdogs can keep it up in the future games in these series. But the Suns were down most of this game, but now they're up by 7 points, 77-70. 3:12 to go in the third quarter, and they call a foul on the Jock Landale drive. He will have a couple of free throws, but the Clippers were up for the majority of this game, but the tide has officially turned overall, and the Suns are kind of starting to cruise a bit. Maybe if they can keep playing at a high level, they can go to an easy victory, but I'm sure the Clippers are going to do everything they can to stay in this game. Jock Landale, his first free throw is no good. 3:12 to go. The Ohio State's big injury today with Morant, Giannis, and Tyler Hero. Morant and Giannis' injuries won't be too serious, but Tyler Hero broke his hand. Seems like Hero will be out a while. Yeah, that's really going to hurt overall for the Heat, but definitely their role players were doing enough to step up. But like you said, if Giannis is able to return, you don't have Tyler Hero with the Heat, that might be the end of them in the series. But hopefully the Heat can still play at a high level. It stinks that Tyler Hero got hurt, but it's obviously bad time for injuries. Look at Paul George with the Clippers. He's not able to play. Kawhi Leonard, he draws the foul on Durant. A really smart play by Kawhi Leonard. He's the smaller guy going up on Kevin Durant, and he drew the foul on him. So Kawhi Leonard will have some free throws. It's probably a good strategy for the Clippers to try to get in the lane, get to the line, hit some free throws, because right now they're really struggling to make shots. And that was a good decision by Kawhi Leonard. His first free throw is up, and it is good. Jeff says, yeah, stinks on Hero. Yeah, it's awful for sure. Hopefully the Heat will still be competitive, and hopefully Hero can heal quickly. But they're showing Kevin Durant no field goal attempts and 5 assists this quarter. Sometimes you can impact the game without scoring. He's done a great job passing specifically to Torrey Craig. So Kevin Durant, he can be efficient without scoring as well. He's been doing a great job passing to his teammates. 78-71, 2:58 to go in the third quarter. And Kawhi Leonard, his second free throw is going up. And he's got a really good free throw stroke, and it's up and in, 78-72, 2:58 to go in the third quarter. Clippers cutting the lead down a little bit. It's down to 6. Kawhi Leonard with 22 points, 9 this quarter. And Devin Booker being hounded by Terrence Mann, and they might have called a foul on Terrence Mann. I think he was a little over-aggressive there. You definitely love the effort from Terrence Mann, doing everything he possibly can to get the ball from Devin Booker, but I do think they called a foul on him. So Phoenix with a 6-point lead, doing everything they can to stay in front. Yeah, man. Yeah, they did call a foul. Man was doing everything he could to draw, the ball out of bounds or even steal it, but he got the blocking foul called against him. And Devin Booker's first free throw is no good. Very interesting there. Devin Booker, a really good free throw shooter, but he misses the first. Got to make your free throws if you want to win. You look at the Raptors, even though a lot of people talk about why that happened. And Devin Booker misses both free throws. 78-72. Clippers only down 6, and they have a chance to cut this lead even further here. 2:40 to go in the third. Norman Powell has the ball to Mason Plumlee, over to Terrence Mann. Terrence Mann hasn't done much in a while, but he is a really solid player off the bench. Kawhi Leonard with the ball now in the mid-range, going up. Now over to Mason Plumlee, and Plumlee lays it in. 78-74, and it's down to a 4-point game. Little over 2 to go in the third. Great response by the Clippers. Now you've got Landry Shamet with the basketball. Shamet in the mid-range. His shot's no good, and Clippers get the ball back. 2:10 to go in the third quarter. Kawhi Leonard with the ball. It's down to a 4-point game. Bones Hyland goes up strong. Good defense by Booker. Another miss, and now Terrence Mann in the corner, and his three is no good. That would have been a huge shot to cut it to 1. Under 2 to go in the third quarter. Devin Booker with the ball. Suns up 4. Devin Booker slowly bringing the ball up the floor, being guarded now by Bones Hyland. And Bones Hyland with the steal. Bad pass by Booker. And Bones Hyland goes up strong. And there is not a foul on Booker. Great defense yet again by Devin Booker. And they call the ball off Bones Hyland. It will be Phoenix Suns ball. And I do think that Bones Hyland got banged up on that play. Hopefully he is okay. It looks like he kind of hit his shoulder a bit on the wall. So hopefully he's all right. But what defense by Booker. I think Booker might have hit him in the head a little bit, but it was incidental contact. Maybe that could have been a foul there. Bones Hyland definitely thinks it was. I think there was contact, but there is no foul. So the Suns maybe got away with one there. Now on the other end, Josh Okogie tried to go up strong, and he gets denied. Still 78-74. Norman Powell into the lane. Kicks in the corner to Kawhi Leonard for 3, and Leonard for 3, and it's down to 1. 78-77. What a response by the Clippers. They look like they were in a world of trouble. Potentially we're going to fall way too behind this game, but they're playing great now, down only by 1. Kawhi with 25-12 in this quarter. Josh Okogie tries to go up, hands it to Jock Landale, and Jock Landale draws a foul. So he will be going to the line. But a good pass by Norman Powell around Jock Landale to Kawhi Leonard in the corner. I think his foot was just behind the line. It was really close to being a 2, and I do think it is a 3. 106 to go in the third quarter. Kawhi Leonard with 25 points, 5 boards, 4 assists. He's 8 of 15 from the field. And Jock Landale misses another free throw. He's really struggling from the free throw line in this game. You got to make your free throws. They will come back to haunt you if you miss too many and you lose a game. You got to make them. Got to make your free throws. But 78-77, 106 to go in the third quarter. And Jock Landale, he will have another free throw to potentially put the Suns up by 2 points. Durant, he's back in the game now for Phoenix. And Landale's second free throw, it barely rolls in. 79-77, 106 to go in the third quarter. The Clippers have the ball down by 2, and it's under 1 minute to go in the third quarter. Norman Powell has the ball. Norman Powell driving on Booker, kicks to Mason Plumlee. Plumlee loses the ball, but he gets it back. He's driving on Landale. He kicks to Norman Powell. Powell's trying to drive on Booker, fakes him out, and goes up strong in the mid-range, and he gets the shot to fall. That's a good shot by Norman Powell. We got a tie game, 79-79. 40 seconds to go in the third. KD has the basketball. KD kicks it down low to Jock Landale, and Landale for 2. Ball hits him in the head as it goes down, but it doesn't matter. For him, he gets the layup to fall. 81-79. 30 seconds to go in the third quarter. Clippers have the basketball. Bones Hyland has it. Clippers have definitely done a good job getting back in this game. 25 seconds left in the third quarter. Bones Hyland has it. He's a really dynamic player going downhill. He's driving in the lane. Kicks to Terrence Mann, and Terrence Mann for 2. 81-81, 15 seconds left in the third quarter. What a game, back and forth. Both teams giving it their all. KD has the ball, 10 seconds left. 8 seconds left. Kevin Durant still being hounded by Kawhi Leonard. He kicks to Jock Landale. Jock Landale has the basketball. He takes the mid-range shot with 1 second, and it goes in and out, and we have a tie ball game. 81-81, end of the third quarter. This has been a fantastic basketball game between these two teams. A lot of action back and forth. You can't ask for much more in a basketball game the way these teams are playing. Some really good action. The Ohio State for the wins, as Clippers just seem cursed every season. Either Leonard or George or both get injured at key points in the season every single year. Yeah, it's really frustrating for sure because they're both great. And yes, they might be getting a little bit older, but you look at like LeBron James, he's playing at the right time for the Lakers. You would like to be able to see, a healthy Leonard and George. And with the team they have now, the fact they got Bones Hyland, the fact they got Eric Gordon, that maybe they could do some special things in the playoffs. Would they be able to win a title? Probably not. Maybe it's possible. We'll never know if they're always hurt or something like that, or injured or whatever. It's just very unfortunate. You are right. But hopefully eventually we'll get to see it. Maybe if the Clippers can win this series, we'll be able to see Paul George anyway. It's going to be very difficult for them to achieve that. I think that overall, looking at the Clippers, that they're going to have a big uphill battle to climb to be able to win this series against the Suns without Paul George, but you never know. They're doing a great job in this game, and it's tied right now into the third. A lot of people probably didn't think that would be the case, probably thought that the Suns would easily win this game over the Clippers, but the Clippers are doing a great job overall hanging around. They had the lead for most of this game, but they gave it away, and the Suns were up, and then they were up by around 10, but now the Clippers are right back in it again, and it's like a new ball game, like it just tipped off. 81 all, into the third. The Ohio State said this is a rematch of the 2021 Western Conference Finals. That series, Clippers didn't have Kawhi, and now Clippers don't have George. I wonder if Clippers will ever have a playoff run with all their key players healthy. Who knows? Like I said, maybe this year will be the year if you do have the Clippers advancing, because according to most people, Paul George is only going to be out one series. So if they can win this series, it could still be possible that the Clippers could have them both playing. But I still think it is more than unlikely that the Clippers do win this series. But you never know. They're playing really well. But to win this whole entire series, win 4 out of the 7 games without Paul George, it's going to be very difficult to do. But like you said, it's very unlucky. Like you said, Leonard was out the last time when they were in the playoffs, when they went far, and that was very unfortunate. It just can't seem like the Clippers can get healthy at the right time. It's very unfortunate, but it still has been a great game regardless. Wish we could have seen Paul George, and if Paul George was playing for the Clippers, they could be winning. I think the Suns have played well, but I don't think that the Suns have overall been that great on the defensive end. They really tightened up in the third, but they have struggled overall at times on defense. Jeff says, what a game for sure. 96. He says it's the money quarter. What do you think? Only Talk Sports, who you got tonight? I would probably have to lean Suns. I think the Clippers have been great, but I do think the Suns will find a way to extend this lead right at the end, get their crowd rolling, and find a way to win a close one. I still think the Clippers could win. I don't think they're out of it. The way they've been playing, they've given me a lot of confidence in their abilities the way they've played. But they definitely started to fold a bit. Yes, they've come back, but can they go all the way with Kawhi Leonard? Can they find a way to be able to win this game? I am not sure. I think it should be very interesting. It could go either way, but I would say potentially I got the Suns finding a way to win. The Ohio State says, I'm taking Suns in 6 this series. If Georgia were available this year, I might have taken Clippers. I agree. I almost potentially could have taken the Clippers with George as well, like you said, but I would have to say I think the Suns will win at least 5, 6, or 7 games. But you never know for sure. This game isn't over yet. Larry McClurkin's here. Thanks for being here. Larry says, what's up, Jeff? The Stars are actually guarding each other, meaning Durant and Leonard. Yeah, for sure. It's been a lot of fun watching them play, but the Clippers score right out of the beginning of the fourth quarter, right out of the commercial break. Kawhi Leonard does it again, but thanks for being here, Larry. And yes, the Stars are at hand playing some great basketball. Wish George was out there, but what a shot by Leonard. Kawhi Leonard doing everything he possibly can to lead his Clippers squad to a victory. And you have Leonard at the line for the free throw to potentially put his team up by 3 points. And he does. He delivers at the line. He's been great at the line in this game. And it is 84-81. 11:45 to go in the fourth quarter. Phoenix Suns now down by 3 after the great shot by Kawhi Leonard. Now Devin Booker, he has the ball being guarded by Terrence Mann. Devin Booker's had a really solid game overall. Maybe he hasn't had one of the best games of his career, but he's still playing solid. Chris Paul's really struggled to find some offense. But Chris Paul, he takes a pull-up 3, can't make the shot. Jock Landale kicks out to KD, and KD splash for 3, 84-84. 11:20 to go in the fourth. What a pass by Jock Landale, and now KD is 20 points, 7 boards, and 9 assists. Kawhi Leonard with the ball now for the Clippers. He takes the mid-range too, and he gets it to fall. 86-84. What a game by Kawhi Leonard. 11 to go in the fourth quarter. Now you have Landry Shamet in the game for the Suns, along with Jock Landale, Chris Paul, Devin Booker, and KD. And KD just hit the big 3. KD kicks over to Landry Shamet for a 2, and Shamet cannot get it to drop. Jock Landale, though, with the offensive rebound. Paul kicks to Booker. Booker goes up strong, kicks to KD again in the corner, and KD airballs that one. Jock Landale with another offensive rebound that can't keep giving him opportunities if you're the Clippers, and Landry Shamet misses a 3. Mason Plumlee finally gets the rebound. The Ohio State's Leonard looks like vintage Kawhi. I agree. He's playing some solid basketball. Donovan Mitchell did great for the Cavaliers as well, but they fell short. Will Kawhi Leonard do the same? Will he fall short, or will he be able to lead his team to victory? Kawhi Leonard driving into the lane. Kawhi Leonard with the step back. He misses that time. Terrence Mann can't get the rebound, but Mason Plumlee gets it. And Plumlee, he kicks to Norman Powell. And Powell lays it in, 88-84. And what resiliency by the Clippers. The Clippers are showing massive resiliency here on the road without one of their stars. 9:52 to go in the fourth. 88-84, and KD drives, and they do call a foul. So he will have free throws. That was a tough drive by Kevin Durant. He drove all the way into the lane, and he got fouled on the drive. Kevin Durant is still a really explosive player, getting to the rim and drawing contact. But the Clippers are showing great resiliency here, staying in this game and now retaking the lead. But now you've got Kevin Durant at the line where you don't want him to be if you're the Clippers, because he's a great free throw shooter. His first free throw's up and in. He will hit most of his free throws. He's money at the line. And Kevin Durant will have another free throw. He's 9 of 9 at the line in this game. 21 points, 8 rebounds, 9 assists. He almost has a triple-double. And Kawhi Leonard is going to the bench for the Clippers, and he looks exhausted. He's doing everything he possibly can for the Clippers to get the win. Kevin Durant, his second free throw is up, and it is good. 88-86. Again, Kevin Durant perfect at the line, 10 of 10. 9:40 to go in the fourth quarter. Norman Powell has the basketball for the Clippers. He's had a solid game. He just hit a big layup. Norman Powell driving into the lane, and he is blocked by KD. What a block. Now on the other end, Landry Shamet goes up strong, and he dunks it home. Tie game yet again. 88-88, 9:30 to go in the fourth. What a NBA playoff game. This has been a fantastic game. Now the Clippers with the ball. Tie game. Bones Highland has it. He kicks to Terrence Mann. Now over to Norman Powell. No Kawhi Leonard on the floor. And Norman Powell all the way to the hoop, and he lays it off the glass. 90-88. 9:10 to go in the fourth. KD with the basketball. He's done some great things in this game. KD pulls up from three. He can't make the shot. Westbrook with the ball. He's back in the game. He's really struggled from the field in this game. Westbrook trying to drive. Westbrook loses the basketball. What defense from the Suns? KD over to Shamet again, and Shamet lays it off the glass. 90-90. 8:40 to go in the fourth. And we're having ties. We're having lead changes right now. You can't ask for much more. This has been a fantastic thriller game. 8:30 to go in the fourth. Norman Powell has it. Who's going to get their first win in this series? Norman Powell trying to go up, but he decides to pass to Terrence Mann. Mann kicks it back to Powell. And Powell will be getting some free throws. That was a good play by Powell to draw that foul. And Larry, you're absolutely right. Russ is so bad. Russ is not having a good game. I still think Westbrook's a solid player that definitely has some years left in the league, and he's definitely still a good passer at times. But, man, he is not shooting the ball well in this game. If he was shooting well to complement Kawhi Leonard, I think the Clippers would have a great chance to win, but he's not having a good game at all. You're absolutely right, Larry. It's really frustrating to watch if you are a Clippers fan. Norman Powell at the line for the first free throw. It is up and good. So 91-90, the Clippers have retaken the lead. The Ohio State said, did you see the end of the Warriors versus King game last night? That was incredible. Fox and Monk were both incredible in their playoff debuts. Yeah, it was unbelievable. Monk at 32, Fox at 38. And if they can keep that up, the Kings can beat the Warriors in that series. But they will have to keep it up. They will have to play well, game in and game out. But that was an incredible finish and a great game overall. Norman Powell hits the second, so it's 92-90. 8:20 to go in the fourth. The Clippers are up by 2. Again, the Clippers doing everything they possibly can to stay in front. They're doing a good job. Chris Paul, he has the basketball. He's driving into the lane. He swings out to Devin Booker. Booker with the mid-range 2, and he gets it to fall. It goes off front rim and hits the backboard and rolls in. 92-92. 8 to go in the fourth. Clippers have the ball yet again. Russell Westbrook, who a lot of people are scrutinizing right now for his play, he's driving into the lane, and he misses again. And now Kevin Durant is the ball. Devin Booker, he's going in the lane. He kicks to Ish Wainwright, who's into the game for the Suns, and he misses a 3 in the corner. Westbrook with the ball again, bringing the ball up the floor, still struggling to find a bucket to drop for him. Westbrook into the lane. He scores almost, you would think, but he doesn't get it to fall. But then Mason Plumlee cleans it up and lays it in. It looked like Westbrook had a good play there, but he missed again. But then Mason Plumlee, he gets the layup to fall. 94-92, the Clippers are up by 2. And that was a great play by Mason Plumlee to erase the miss by Westbrook and lay it off the reverse. And I think he got fouled as well, and he will have a free throw. The Phoenix Suns still have 4 timeouts. The Clippers have 3, but it's 94-92. Mason Plumlee with 6 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 assists. 3 of 3 from the field, definitely playing his role well. The Ohio State is amazing, the drop-off from Westbrook from 5 years ago to today. I completely agree. He's not even nowhere near the same player. It's really unfortunate because I still think that Westbrook has potential to have some good years left, but I agree that he's really struggling from the field. He's not shooting well, and it's very unfortunate. Maybe he can get back on track, but like you said, it's been a big drop-off. But he's getting older, and we're just so used to these guys now lasting so long, like Chris Paul and LeBron James and Dwayne Wade. Maybe Westbrook's just dropping off a bit quicker. It's unfortunate. But Plumlee hits the free throw, and on the other end, the Phoenix Suns lay it in as well. 95-94. The Clippers are clinging to a 1-point lead. 7:10 to go in the fourth quarter. Westbrook has the basketball, 8 with 14 points and 7 boards. Now Norman Powell has it, trying to find some offense for the Clippers. Kawhi Leonard, he has the ball. He takes a mid-range shot, and it rolls off the rim. Clippers tap it back out. Norman Powell, he misses a 3. Had a really good look there, but 8 with the board. Definitely could not get that shot to drop. Now KD driving. KD with a pull-up 2, and KD knocks it down. 96-95. 6:30 to go in the fourth. Can the Clippers respond? KD with 24 points, 9 boards and 10 assists, 1 board away from a triple-double. He is playing great, and this game that he is playing is exactly why the Suns got him. He is doing exactly what the Suns need him to do and why they traded so much for him. Kawhi Leonard with the step into ridiculous shot by Leonard, 97-96, and the Clippers are back in front. 32 points and 5 rebounds for Kawhi Leonard. He's doing it all for the Clippers to stay in this game. They're up by 1. Chris Paul with the ball. 6 to go in the fourth. At the Suns logo, trying to make a move. Chris Paul into the lane. Kicks out to Devin Booker, and Booker's three is a little bit short, and Mason Plumlee with the rebound. 5:50 to go in the fourth. Mason Plumlee kicks to Leonard. Leonard's three is no good. It went in and out, and Landry Shamet with the rebound for the Suns. Now Chris Paul has it. 5:40 to go in the fourth. We're starting to get to crunch time. Paul into the lane. Paul trying to go up strong. His shot goes in and out. He had it, but it did not go in. 5:30 to go in the fourth. Terrence Mann into the lane, and there is contact, and I think they call an offensive foul on Terrence Mann. 97-96. Clippers over the Suns. 5:32 to go, and we have a TV timeout. Larry says Russ is the type of guy who says there's no I in team. Be there as M&E. Ha. I completely agree. At times, the way he plays, sometimes he definitely wants to score himself. And he is a great passer. I mean, you can't just completely say he's an I guy when you look at the fact that he had 3 years of having triple doubles. So he had to pass and assist to get those numbers. I don't think he's a completely a me guy. I think he has a lot of moments where he definitely is a team player. I think that overall he still is a good player, and he does pass the ball well at times. But when he's struggling to score, sometimes he does need to pass the ball more to his teammates. Granted, the only really good threat that the Clippers have right now without Paul George is Kawhi Leonard, so Westbrook's trying to fill the void. I understand that. I don't think he definitely is a guy that's all about himself and scoring on his own. I still think Westbrook is a team player at times, but he does sometimes fall into the trap of wanting to score too much on his own. And it is really unfortunate that he's having such a bad game scoring the basketball, because if he was playing well, the Clippers easily had a chance to win this game. If he would have like 20, 25 points right now along with Leonard, they'd be in great shape, but he just cannot score right now, and it's very unfortunate. But we'll see what happens in the final 5:32 to go in this fourth quarter, 97-96. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens overall in the rest of this game. Can the Clippers hold on? Can the Clippers, they've done a great job in this game of being able to hang with the Suns. Can they find a way to steal a road win and be able to give themselves potentially a chance to be able to win this series? Or will the Suns find a way to win in the end? I think the Suns still have a better chance to win in the end because of the fact they have their complete team. But the Clippers have done everything they possibly can to hang in there. And will they find a way to win? It will be interesting to see what happens for sure. But I think this game's going to go down to the wire. Both these teams have been playing at a high level, and the way this game is going, it really seems to be hard that it would be a game that ends up being like an 8 to 10 point win for either team. I think this will be a game that should go down to the wire. Probably a 4 or 5 point win either way, but I would have to lean the Suns right now. The Clippers could win. Kawhi Leonard, if he keeps scoring, some of the other teammates can hit some shots, they have a chance. If Westbrook can finally hit some shots and really pass the ball well, be a really good team player, teammate to the rest of the players and get some good passes, then they could win. But the Suns have a lot of firepower right now, and it will be very tough for the Clippers to be able to beat them. The Ohio State says, do you think the Lakers will end up beating the Grizzlies in the series? I picked Grizzlies in 7 before series started, but with Morant injury and how close he is to 100% will be huge. Yeah, I agree. I picked the Grizzlies to beat the Lakers as well in my mind overall at the beginning of the series. But like you said, with the fact that the Lakers, they played so well beating the Grizzlies in game 1 and Morant being hurt, how well will he be able to play? How much too close to 100% will he be? Will he be healthy? If he's not, and he's not right mentally either with everything that's gone on this season, I don't know. It could actually be a series the Lakers could win. I don't know if the Lakers can go all the way to the Western Conference Finals if they can beat the Grizzlies, but it's going to be very interesting for sure. And I do think that my mind is starting to lean a bit more toward the Lakers. I would still lean Grizzlies. I still think the Grizzlies will win because I don't really think Rui Hachimura will score 27 points in the next game. I think that the Grizzlies will find a way to win the next game for sure. But to your point, Lakers bench and role players and roster construction has improved so much from beginning of the season to now. 100%. They've done a massive job improving from the middle of the season to now. They've done a great job. They got good players in the trades, and they're peaking at the right time. And like you say as well, Hachimura and Reeves were insane today. Hachimura averaged 10 points. He had 27. Reeves is like 23. I'd expect it more from Reeves because he's really good and averaged like 13, 14 points per game. And he starts, but Hachimura off the bench having 27, insane. That's why they won. Can he do it again? Just like with the Kings, can Monk and Fox both score what they scored against the Warriors in game one more often in the series? I don't know, but it will be interesting and we'll determine what happens. But you have the Suns when DeAndre missing a shot. It's still 97-96, and the ball is off the Clippers. So it will stay Suns basketball. 5:12 to go. They showed the ball. It definitely was off the Clippers. It went off Terrence Mann's hand. Terrence Mann tipped it out. So it will remain Suns basketball. The Suns are definitely trying to find a way to win this game. It will be huge for them to get the home win. You want to be able to get the win on your own floor because you're the higher seed and will go a long way for you end up being able to win the whole series. But the Clippers, without Paul George, are hanging in there. DeAndre Ayton down low, and he misses badly off the glass. And the Clippers have the ball now. 5 to go in the fourth. Zubac down low. He's trying to spin around. He loses the ball, and it's a steal. Devin Booker has the ball now. 4:50 to go in the fourth. Devin Booker has the basketball, and he loses the ball. Zubac kicks it to Terrence Mann. Now he's going up the floor, taking contact, looks like, and he gets an and one. Terrence Mann for 2 and 1. 99-96. Massive swing there with the turnover. And then you have the Clippers getting the and one possibility there. That is a fantastic play by Terrence Mann, taking it all the way. The Ohio State, he says Reeves is one of those guys initially you wouldn't think would make it to the NBA, but his hard work and improvement to become a pretty good player is amazing. Yeah, I completely agree. Austin Reeves, undrafted out of Oklahoma, and he's done a massive job in the NBA, improving year over year, and he's definitely going to be a guy that's going to be in the NBA for a long time, making a lot of money because he's done a great job. Really proud of him. He has done a fantastic job, and he's really helping the Lakers out this year. And you love to see guys like him be great success stories in the NBA that initially you didn't think would be NBA players, like you said. But, man, he does hit the free throw. So they've hit the 100 mark. The Clippers have 196. 4:30 to go in the fourth, and I think Chris Paul stepped out of bounds. So it's Clippers basketball, and they have a 4-point lead. And could they steal a road win here? This would be huge. Russell Westbrook with the basketball. Let's see what he can do. If he's going to take a shot or he'll pass to his team. He tried to get it down low to Eric Gordon on the cut, and Eric Gordon does not get the basketball because it is tipped out of bounds. Jada's back. Cannon in the house. Hi, Jeff. Thanks for being here again, Jada. Really appreciate the support. He said, what a change for sure. It's been a crazy game. The Suns look like they really had a great chance to win this game after the Clippers initially did early in the game, but it's back swinging toward the Clippers. 196. And then there's a turnover. Devin Booker saves it up the court to Torrey Craig, and Craig lays it in and one. 100-98. 4:17 to go in the fourth, and there's been some massive swings in this fourth quarter. Both teams making mistakes and capitalizing off the other team's mistakes. The Ohio State said, what a save by Booker, 100%. Booker did a massive job saving that ball, and then up the floor, being able to get the ball to Torrey Craig like that in transition, and Torrey Craig lays it in and one. Can he hit the free throw? 4:17 to go in the fourth. His free throw is up, and it rolls in. 100-99. 4 to go in the fourth. We're getting down to the wire. Torrey Craig with 22 points. He's had a solid game playing off the start. 9-12 from the field to 4 from 3. Westbrook with the ball. Trying to get it to Leonard, but Craig is denying Leonard. Still denying Leonard. Now Eric Gordon has the ball. Back to Westbrook. Westbrook driving into the lane. Eric Gordon for 3, and Eric Gordon misses the shot. Eric Gordon had a good look from 3, and he is a great shooter, but he could not make the shot. And now the Phoenix Suns have the basketball. Paul for 2 in the mid-range, and his shot goes in and out. What a great look for Chris Paul, but he could not get it to drop. Russell Westbrook on the other end, to Terrence Mann down low. Eric Gordon for another 3, and he misses again. He's had 2 great looks. Zubac down low, tried to tip it in. He could not. Still 100-99. 3:20 to go in the fourth. Larry says grown men should be turning the ball over like this, for sure, especially as talented players as these guys are. They're turning it over a lot. Devin Booker, though, with the ball to DeAndre, and he takes the mid-range. Not a good shot there. He definitely can shoot that, but maybe not the best shot you would like to see right there if you're a Suns fan. Still 100-99. 3:07 to go in the fourth. And there is a timeout by Ty Lue. He wants to talk it over. He uses his third to last timeout, and we have a commercial break. This game is going down to the wire. 100-99, 3:07 to go in the fourth. But I really appreciate all you guys for being here. Like the stream down below. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. But more importantly, I appreciate everyone that stopped by tonight. You guys are all awesome. Really appreciate it. And this has been a fantastic game tonight. You definitely can't ask for much more than this game. A lot of people doubted the Clippers without Paul George, and they've delivered. They played great. Even if they don't win, it probably won't spell a good sign for them if they can't win this game for them to be able to win the series, but they've played really good tonight, and they've given the Phoenix Suns all they can handle and more, and there is a great chance the Clippers could steal a road win. And they have the basketball up by one right now. Ty Lue just took a timeout to talk it over. Will be interesting to see what he can draw up on the sideline and see if he can be able to get a good play going for the Clippers to be able to extend this lead. But the Suns, they have a lot of talent on the team. Torrey Craig's playing well, but Chris Paul, he's really struggled from the field, and that's really hurt overall the Suns in this game. Not having a great offensive performance from Chris Paul. It'll be interesting to see if he can finally start to make some shots down the stretch of this game. Maybe just get some passes in instead. But KD's been great. Booker's had some great moments, but definitely some struggles from Ayton and Paul for sure. Jada says, what a game, Jeff. For sure. It's been a great game. This has been one of the best games so far in the play-in tournament. It's been, of the playoffs and the play-in tournament. The play-in tournament had some good games, but for the NBA playoffs starting, this has been one of the best games of the start of the playoff series. It's been a great game. I think the Kings-Warriors was great as well. But this has been a fantastic game, and I cannot wait to see what happens in the final 3:07 and to see whether if the Clippers can steal a road win or the Phoenix Suns will take care of business and beat a Paul George-less Clippers team. Jaws, is Booker going to do it? Booker has to. If Booker hits some big shots down the stretch of this game, I think there's a great chance that Phoenix wins. But Paul, he's taken some shots. He hasn't been able to hit him. Paul is a really good player, but he's really struggling to make shots. So I think Booker or Durant have to be the guys. The Ohio State, so neither of these teams have won an NBA title. Clippers have never made the finals. The Suns are 0-3 all-time in finals. If both these teams are fully healthy, they have a chance to win it all finally. And if the Clippers can get by this series against the Suns, they will get Paul George back more than likely. So it's not like they're completely done. They just have to win this series. But for the Suns, yes, they could win it all this year. But I think that it's a bad thing for both these teams in the fact that there's so many great teams in the NBA this year. This is just an awful time to want to be able to win a title this year because of how many great teams there are. Both these teams are really talented, but they're not even nowhere near the favorites to win it all because of how many good teams there are. The Ohio State said Durant's legacy will grow to another level if he finally can bring a title to the Suns. Oh, 100%. If he can win a title with the Suns this year, it would really help his legacy, and it would also really help out Chris Paul's legacy as well because he's never won a title. And I don't like the narrative that if you don't win a title, you're not a great player. That's just not true. Obviously, it's great when you do win titles, but there's a lot of players that win titles that aren't that great of players. They're just on teams that win titles. Chris Paul is a great player, but it definitely would help him overall if they can be able to win this, the title for the first time, win a finals. It would really help out Chris Paul for sure, and Durant as well to be able to get another title. I agree with you 100%. And a lot of people root for the Suns to do it. Maybe they can. Booker's got 24 points, 4 steals, 4 blocks. He's playing solid, but he's 0-3 from 3. But the Clippers up by 1 and a turnover by Russell Westbrook. Out of that timeout, Ty Lue calls the timeout to draw up a good play, and Russell Westbrook throws it away. Not a good play there by Russell Westbrook. 2:50 to go in the fourth. Clippers have 4 turnovers this quarter. Suns have 2. Paul into the lane. He takes another mid-range shot, and it's just not his game. Eric Gordon with the rebound. Chris Paul really struggling. Terrence Mann back to Eric Gordon, and Eric Gordon's 3 is off. Russell Westbrook with the rebound. Now over to Kawhi Leonard, and his 3 is pure. 103, 299, under 2:30 to go in the fourth quarter. And Kawhi Leonard is playing fantastic today. He's got 35 points, and you knew he had to for the Clippers to have a chance. Paul to Ayton. Ayton's shot is pure, 103 to 101. 2:10 to go in the fourth. Great pass by Paul. Great mid-range shot by Ayton. 2-point game. Clippers up by 2. 2 to go in the fourth. Kawhi Leonard with the basketball. Playing some great basketball. Eric Gordon has it now. Back to Kawhi Leonard for 3, and Leonard knocks it down. What a shot with a hand in his face. 106 to 101. That was an unbelievable shot by Kawhi Leonard. He has 38 points. KD has it now. KD driving in to Ayton in the paint, and he knocks it down. 109 to 103. 150 to go in the fourth. Kawhi Leonard is doing it all for the Clippers. Can he single-handedly, it seems, even though his teammates have scored points, you can't ever say single-handedly technically with the amount of what the other players do. But it feels like Kawhi Leonard is single-handedly doing everything for the Clippers. He has the basketball. He kicks to Eric Gordon for 3, and Eric Gordon from 30-plus feet. Splash. 109-103. Big shot by Eric Gordon. His first made bucket since the first half. He has 17 points. Good contributions from Eric Gordon. 126 to go in the fourth. What a play by Kawhi Leonard hitting those 2 big shots. And then a big 3 made by Eric Gordon. I feel Ohio State's the Celtics the most complete and best team in the league, I think. And I think the Celtics will get another title in their first since 08, but there are multiple teams that can win it this season. I agree with you. If my favorite right now would have to be the Celtics, that would be who I would pick. But I do agree with you. There are a lot of great teams, and other teams can win it. But the Celtics have a great chance to win it. And KD for 3. 109-106. 120 to go in the fourth, and this game has been a classic. Kawhi Leonard with the ball. KD now has 27 points, 10 in the fourth. What can Leonard do now after all that he's already done? 110 to go in the fourth. He loses the basketball. Paul loses it out of bounds, but they do call it off of the Clippers. 108 to go. Maybe they called a foul as well. I think they might have, but I do agree with you via Ohio State. The Celtics are a great team, and they could win it all, but there's so many good teams. Via Ohio State, the Bucks are a close segment. I think in a 7-game series, Celtics would and will beat the Bucks. I agree as well, and especially with Giannis being banged up, he's going to have to be healthy for the Bucks against the Celtics. They won't have a chance to win, but I agree with you. The Bucks and Celtics seem like the top 2, but you can't ever count the Nuggets or even maybe these 2 teams. They can get by. You never know. Healthy George. It's going to be really interesting. I'm looking forward to the rest of the playoffs. You've almost got a triple-double out of Durant. He needs another rebound. Chris Paul, he now has 6 points, but he got 10 rebounds, 11 assists. He's doing all the other things well. He's just not scoring a lot. But Chris Paul at the line, he hits the first. Josh says, Leonard, what a basket. The Ohio State says, Leonard's playing like Toronto Kawhi Leonard. For sure. He is on fire. Fantastic basketball by Leonard. And Paul hits them both. 109-108. And we have a timeout. 108 to go in the fourth quarter. 1-point lead for the Clippers, and the Clippers will have the basketball out of the timeout. But I agree, there are so many great basketball teams in the NBA this year. It is unbelievable how many great teams that there are. And these 2 teams, they're the 4 and the 5 seed in the West, and the Clippers are without Paul George, and they're still bringing it. What a game between these 2 teams. Jonas's Clippers, wow, shooting. It is awesome to see Kawhi Leonard play so well. It'll be so sad to see him lose this game after all the effort he's put in. And if they aren't able to win, it'll be very difficult for the Clippers to win this series without Paul George. After having a performance like this and not being able to pull out the win, it would make it feel like they're going to have no chance, because this is an insane performance by Kawhi Leonard, having 38 points. He's doing everything so well overall for the Clippers. And then Eric Gordon splashes a big 3 from the top of the key. But will it be enough? Clippers are only up by 1. You would assume they probably need another bucket or 2 to win. But the Suns keep on striking back. The Suns are doing everything they can to win as well. Paul's starting to get some really big passes. He might not be hitting a lot of shots. He only has 7 points, but he's starting to facilitate the ball at a high level. He's doing a great job overall, being a great team player. Westbrook's still struggling from the field and passing. Westbrook's trying. He has had a couple good passes late in this fourth quarter, but definitely struggling from the field. If he was playing better, it would really help out the Clippers. But the game is about to resume. The Clippers have 1 timeout. The Suns have 2, but 108 to go in the fourth, and it's 109-108 Clippers. Larry said the Suns have no excuse for not winning this one. 100%. If the Suns are going to have any chance of winning the whole thing this year, they got to play better than this, especially on the defensive end, because they're not playing a team that's at full strength. They don't even have Paul George with the Clippers, but the Phoenix Suns are still down by 1 on their own floor. But 109-108, it's going down to the wire. 1 to go in the fourth, and Russell Westbrook who's been heavily scrutinized, made a lot of mistakes in this game. He gives the ball to Leonard, and Leonard's shot is short, but Westbrook with the offensive rebound. Westbrook has the ball. 50 seconds left in the fourth. Kawhi Leonard has the basketball. He kicks in the corner to Terrence Mann, and Mann's three is off. And the ball is out of bounds off of the Phoenix Suns. It will stay Los Angeles Clippers basketball. Unbelievable. The Ohio State says, does Kawhi have enough left in the tank for this game? And somebody else from the Clippers may have to make another shot. D will load up on Kawhi. 100%. Maybe Eric Gordon's the guy. Who knows? 40 seconds left in the fourth. Westbrook has the ball now. Kawhi Leonard has it. Kawhi Leonard's driving in. He kicks over to Westbrook, and Westbrook's three is off again. And the ball is off of, I think, the Suns again. 28 seconds left, and the Suns lose the ball out of bounds again. The Clippers will retain possession. They just cannot catch a break. Jada says, wire game, Jeff. 100%. I'm so glad all you guys are here. This is a fantastic game. And we have another timeout. I think it is by potentially the Phoenix Suns. I wouldn't see why the Clippers would use their last timeout, because then they won't have a timeout left. But maybe they do. Who knows? But there's 28 seconds left, and there is a timeout nonetheless. And it's 109 to 108. Clippers up one, and Clippers have the ball. What will Ty Lue draw up out of the timeout? Who is going to have the ball? You would assume it would be Kawhi Leonard, but as the Ohio State says, they're going to load up on D on him. Is it Eric Gordon? Westbrook can't make a shot right now. Who is it going to be? It's going to be very interesting. But if the Clippers can get a big bucket out of this timeout, it will go a long way in their chance to be able to win, specifically if it's a three, because then they'll be up by 2 possessions. But Phoenix, if they can get a stop, they will have the ball and a chance to be able to win this game. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens. This has been a fantastic game regardless. It would stink for Leonard if they can't win, because he's done everything for them to be able to potentially win this game. But I've enjoyed this game. It's been an awesome game all around. So much fun to watch. The way these teams are giving it everything they've got, laying it all out on the floor. You can't ask for more than that. But it's going to come down to these last couple of possessions. 28.8 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And the Los Angeles Clippers are clinging to a 1-point lead, 109 to 108. And what will Ty Lue draw up out of the time? Who's going to take the big shot? Who's going to take the big shot at the key moment in this game to potentially be able to win this game for the Clippers? A lot of people would assume it's Kawhi Leonard, but he is definitely going to be guarded. Can he make a shot? 28 seconds, inbounding the ball to Zubac. He kicks to Westbrook. Westbrook has the ball at the top of the key. Leonard's trying to get it, but KD's guarding him really well. Westbrook with the basketball. He's driving on Devin Booker, and Westbrook's shot is off, but I think they might have called a foul, and Westbrook will be going to the line. He already has missed a free throw earlier in this game, so he really needs to be able to make these for the Clippers. These are crunch time free throws, but good job by Westbrook drawing the contact on Devin Booker. And that was the last timeout by the Clippers and Ty Lue. So they have no more. Phoenix is 2 left, but Westbrook is 7 points, 10 rebounds, and 7 assists, but he's 3 of 19 from the field. That is not good. And Westbrook's first free throw is good. 110, 108, 17.7 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And Russell Westbrook will have another free throw to potentially put the Clippers up by 3 points. You definitely can tell Westbrook is feeling the pressure. He wants to be able to hit this free throw to potentially put the Clippers up 3 and give them a great chance to win. He's really struggled from the field. He has not had a good game overall, even with turnovers, but his second free throw is good. 111, 108, and Phoenix now is going to have to shoot a 3 and make it to tie to be able to take this to overtime, or they're going to have to go for a quick 2 and do the foul method. The Ohio State says, nice job by Westbrook stepping up to hit 2 clutch free throws after a 3 of 19 shooting night. 100%. And if he is able to, hold on, if the team's able to hold on overall and the Clippers win, those free throws will be huge. He was clutch. He hit the free throws. But he is definitely struggling in this game. He's had some turnovers as well. 10 boards and 7 assists is nice, but 3 of 19 from the field is a problem. Larry says 3 of 19. That's nuts. I mean, you got to do better than that. We know Westbrook's older. We know Westbrook maybe isn't in his prime like he was when he was at the Thunder. But, man, you got to do better than 3 of 19. That's not going to get it done most nights. But Kawhi Leonard's been incredible. Eric Gordon has hit some big timely shots. Norman Powell as well. But it's very interesting. Ja says Chris Paul made some bad shots. Yeah, Chris Paul is not at his best game either. Him and Russell Westbrook are really struggling overall. I think that Chris Paul's still a really good player. He's done a good job passing late in the game, and I even think Westbrook's had a couple nice passes. But Paul and Westbrook are really struggling from the field, but it's going to be very interesting. Can the Phoenix Suns be able to tie this game up or at least score? The Ohio State says if you shoot 19 shots, you got to make at least 7 or 8 of them. Agree. You got to be able to hit close to 50%. You don't want to go 3 of 19. That's awful because eventually, no matter how many shots you shoot, you're eventually going to make some. And it's kind of one of those things with Russell Westbrook. He's hit 3 of 19. You're going to make some shots. He's not having a good game at all, but he did hit the 2 clutch free throws. But 17.7 seconds left in this game, and Chris Paul is the inbounder for the Phoenix Suns. What will Monty Williams draw up here? What did Monty Williams do? Is he going to get the ball to Booker or KD? Who's going to take the shot? And they have to use their last timeout. They could not inbound the ball. Great defense from the Clippers. And Phoenix has no timeouts either. It's all going to come down to this after the break. Larry says after Russ's 14 bad shot, you would think he consider not shooting it anymore. I agree with that. You would think when you're not shooting the basketball well, Westbrook's a point guard. Pass the ball to your teammates. Pass it to Eric Gordon. Pass it to Kawhi Leonard. Do everything you can to get your other teammates involved. I would not just keep chunking up shots when they're not falling. I agree with that. I don't think Russell Westbrook's done a good job in this game of being strategic. If it's your night, it's your night. But if it's not your night, you got to pass. You got to find other ways to contribute for your team. Maybe get to the foul and hit some free throws like the 2 he just made. But he took a lot of bad shots. I know that sometimes the Phoenix Suns were allowing him to take those shots. That's why they wanted him to take them, because he wasn't making them. But you got to do a better job than that. You just cannot keep chunking up bad shots overall. But it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. 111-108. 17 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And the Clippers have a massive chance to steal a road win here. The Ohio State said for Clippers to pull off the series upset, Westbrook has to play much better to ease the load of Kawhi, for sure. And they need more production overall from the rest of the players on the team, for sure. But here we are back in the action. Chris Paul to inbound the ball. 17 seconds left. It's about to get really interesting here. What are they going to do? What is Monty Williams going to draw up? Larry says his pride is holding his teammates back. Potentially, because, he still wants to be a feature guy. It's really unfortunate. He's a great player still. He's very athletic and get to the rim, but when your shooting's off, you can't just keep chunking up shots. But Paul to inbound. Now you've got Devin Booker. Booker with the ball. Booker driving into the lane. What a block by Russell Westbrook, and he got it off of Booker. Unbelievable. Josh is a little fighting there between them for sure. Ohio State said, well, Westbrook made the defensive play of the day just now. Wow, Westbrook, 100%. He might have just won the game. Potentially. You never know. He might have just won the game for the Clippers. Westbrook guarding on Booker. Perfect block. And then he knocks it off of Booker. That is a great play by Russell Westbrook. And you see the emotion. Larry says, great play. Ohio State said Westbrook making up for all of his offensive troubles. 100%. That's an unbelievable play by Russell Westbrook. Now Eric Gordon is at the line. He's a pretty solid free throw shooter, shooting 82% for the season. He has not shot a free throw tonight, but if he hits even just one free throw, it'll be huge for the Clippers. Eric Gordon's first free throw is up, and he knocks it down. It rolls in. 18 points for Eric Gordon. He's also been solid for the Clippers alongside Kawhi Leonard. And Westbrook making a few timely plays late. Eric Gordon with another free throw to potentially put the Clippers up by 5. His free throw is up, and it is good. 113-108. 19 points for Eric Gordon. He's been really good in this game. Devin Booker into the lane. He lays it in. The Clippers just let him go in. 113-110. 2 seconds left. And then on the other end, Terrence Mann with the dunk with 0.9. They go down the floor and dunk it home, 115-110. The Ohio State's huge win for the Clippers. What a win. What a performance by Kawhi Leonard, but he got just enough from his teammates and Eric Gordon and Russell Westbrook. Paul shoots the 3. I think they might have blown it dead for some reason. Still 0.9 on the clock. Waiting to see the end of this game here, but 115-110. And it looks like the Clippers might have this game. It's going to be over, and they're going to get a huge win here. This is unbelievable. The Ohio State is all 3 road games winning first 3 games today. Crazy. Can the Minnesota Timberwolves do it to the Nuggets? Who knows? Obviously, still feel the Bucks would have beat the Heat if Giannis was in, but very interesting overall with the way the NBA has gone down today. The Lakers, they beat the Grizzlies, and then you have a big win by the Heat over the Bucks, and now the Clippers beating the Suns. It's huge. But the referees trying to add some time here to this game, not wanting to let it in for sure. Still 115-110 with 0.9 to go. Definitely trying to see what they're talking about here. Terrence Mann got the big dunk there to put the Clippers up by 5 points. Only 0.9 left in the game. All they got to do is inbound the basketball, and it should be over. Referee's still looking at something, though. But I think it is over. Still just 0.9 unless they wave it off, and they finally wave it off. I don't really know what they were looking at, but it's over. Giannis is a hard one. Unbelievable. What a win for the Clippers. 115-110. Huge win, and now they have a chance to win the series. The Ohio State, I still think Suns will win the series, but anything can happen. I agree. I still feel the Suns will win as well. Feel like Kawhi Leonard won't be able to replicate it every single night. It'll be too tough for them to be able to get enough contributions from their role players to be able to get these wins, to get enough wins over the Suns. I still feel like the Suns will win as well. But what a win for the Clippers to give themselves a chance to win the series. And if they can win the series, they could get Paul George back. And who knows what will happen for the Clippers. But what a day in the NBA. Still got the Timberwolves Nuggets. It should be a lot of fun. But what a fantastic day in the NBA. Lakers, Heat, and now the Clippers. All the smaller teams getting the win. What a 115-110 win for the Clippers over the Suns. Thanks for being here, everybody. Like the stream down below. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. But more importantly, again, thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate all you guys in the comment section. You guys were awesome today. Thank you so much. You guys are the reason that makes this worth it, and I really appreciate it. I love calling these games, and you guys are awesome. Appreciate you guys for wanting to hang out with me tonight. It was a lot of fun watching this game, a classic game. Clippers getting the huge upset win 115-110. But thanks for being here, everybody. You guys are awesome. I really appreciate it. But what a start to the NBA playoffs. What a win for the Clippers, 115-110. And thanks for being here, everybody.